At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
With you for the next 4 hours on Westwood One Sports. That is the youngest in charge, Linnell Willingham. I'm merely Josh Graham. Right off the rip, let's react to the two biggest things happening in sports right now. The Thunder lead the Spurs in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals with a minute left to go. OKC 118, San Antonio 113. We'll have plenty of time to get the full reaction once this game goes final. But what's been your biggest thought? What is your top takeaway right here up top, Linnell?
Two quick things. Just San Antonio's ability to withstand being without Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox here and to still be in this thing and have a chance to win down the stretch is huge. And then if they didn't turn the ball over.
Ability? I thought you said inability given the zone and how much you've been yelling over the last half hour about McLaughlin being on the floor.
That's tough, but the fact that they've put themselves in this spot, they're only down 5 with a minute left, and like to your point, like that's the thing, that I've been complaining about. I don't know why the hell they're playing this McLaughlin kid. He's the singular reason why they're going zone. If Stephon Castle is on the floor and SGA is on the floor, you don't need to blitz, you don't need to double team because Castle is an able enough defender to be able to stop him on his own. So those are my couple biggest takeaways. But I just like both. This is just good hoop. Anybody that is like a fan of basketball, like the way that these two teams defend, and I'm saying that, and both of them I think are shooting over 50%, but it's a bunch of tough shot making. They're on a string defensively, pick and roll defense, transition defense, on ball defense. There's just an effort level that they both play with that is very fun to watch, and I've enjoyed it, man.
OKC is actually a tick under 50%.
So,
San Antonio
okay.
shooting right at 50%. But the thing that stands out, first you go to injuries, and we'll hopefully get more information on the guys who have gone down. You mentioned Dylan Harper, but let's not forget Jalen Williams, who missed a lot of time due to a hamstring. He re-aggravated a hamstring injury tonight, but they were able to withstand. The Spurs, just without De'Aaron Fox, without Dylan Harper, just can't take care of the basketball. You look at how many turnovers they've had in this game. 21 seems like a lot. 21 seems like a lot. And 25 points conceded off of those turnovers. As good as Steph Castle has been in this game, hitting outside shots, nearly ending Isaiah Hartenstein, and trying to do the same to SGA in the first half with dunks. 9 turnovers in this game. Steph Castle doing his best James Harden impression.
So if Wemby didn't hit the shot last game and OKC would have won, that would have been the story, is how many times he's turned the basketball over. I will say this. He is a young guard. I love his mentality and the fearlessness that he plays with, because when a guy turns the ball over this much, it would be easy for him to not be as aggressive and not be his usual self, but it doesn't stop him. I talk about dreadhead running backs in the NFL all the time just being savages. Dreadheaded point guards in the NBA are savages too, man. Steph Castle has been awesome. The turnovers hurt you, though, man, and you're really seeing why. More importantly, not having De'Aaron Fox is the big thing here. He's the veteran that's been in this spot before.
When OKC San Antonio goes final, we will have reaction to that momentarily. Let's get to the other big thing that everybody's talking about from the NFL today. Aaron Rodgers is about to go on a farewell tour. He has announced he will retire after this season, that this season will be his last. Here's the barely 5-second exchange that stirred the sports world today.
Aaron, did you believe that this could be your last year? Do you even think of that right now?
Yes.
As in your last year?
This is it, yeah.
Stirred people up. And before, Linnell, believe it or not, that's the clip that most people have heard by now. But during Aaron's 15-minute or so availability, that was not the most fascinating quote. This is actually, I didn't know Aaron said this until you told me. Oh, did you hear what Rodgers had to say? And I had to go back just to make sure it was true. Here he was admitting that he made a coaching suggestion right after the season ended.
I mean, I had a conversation with Omar at the end of last year, and I encouraged him for an outside perspective to interview Mike. Not thinking that he even would, honestly, just because the way the league goes and the trend, it's kind of like whoever worked with Sean, Kyle, or one of those guys, Matt now, gets a lot of looks, and multiple guys in those trees have. But then when it became more serious, I was thinking, wow, that'd be a really interesting thought to come back and play with Mike.
Was the Matt he's referring to Matt LaFleur? Because really? Okay. So the Omar he's referring to is Omar Khan, the GM.
That was definitely a shot, by the way, Josh. Are you kidding me? That was 110% a shot at that Shanahan McVay coaching tree, and it makes more sense why he's not in Minnesota. Maybe him and KOC aren't hitting it off or didn't hit it off. Because remember, that was supposed to be the initial destination last year. Pittsburgh kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And then you have, the LaFleur beef that goes back.
That's interesting. Wow.
Quite a bit, play calling and an NFC championship game and all of that. Let me ask you
Spicy Aaron. I like Spicy Aaron, Josh.
A couple of questions. Of questions I'll put your way. What comment was more surprising to you, that he would volunteer a retirement tour announcement in May, or the coaching tidbit that he offered there, maybe loosely suggesting that the Steelers might have considered Rodgers when making their head coaching hire?
I think both are shocking. But like I said a little bit earlier about the announcement of his retirement, like, it was a 5-second response. Like, I don't think he was thinking too deeply about it. I don't think he really understood the gravity that response would have and that we'd be leading our show with it here tonight. But, like, I think he was just kind of tongue-in-cheek with that. Him having influence potentially here on Mike McCarthy getting hired, I think is staggering. And it goes to the bigger picture point of why is Pittsburgh like almost conceding their franchise's power to Aaron Rodgers. Like, why are they so invested in Aaron Rodgers? The fact that you're bringing him back is okay. It's one thing. But him having influence on who the head coach is, Josh, potentially, that is very interesting, my friend. And it makes me look at Pittsburgh sideways. And, you know, I'm the guy that kind of calls out Omar Khan every chance I get. This seems like a guy that doesn't know football. I know Aaron Rodgers knows football, so let me ask him. I would love to know how him and Andy Weidel get along.
Did you know that Mike McCarthy's from Pittsburgh? Don't know.
Really?
Don't know if you knew that. The other question,
yeah.
You know, let's actually try to spin this positive because it feels a lot of the Aaron Rodgers commentary and reaction tends to veer negative. What if we're going to be charitable as possible?
Yeah.
What does a successful farewell tour look like? Because to me, Linnell, the bare minimum is a winning season and making the playoffs. Given Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, and last year's team won the AFC North, won 10 games. You can't settle really for less than that. But this season can probably be viewed as a success if you don't win the division, so to speak, if you have a double-digit win team that makes the playoffs, right?
I would agree with that. I think success for Pittsburgh, to me, is defined by getting further than what you got last year. And I would even take it a step further. Like, you don't bring Aaron Rodgers in or bring Aaron Rodgers back, I would say, Josh, unless you believe you've got an opportunity to compete for a championship with him. Like, let's be honest. He's a 42, 43-year-old quarterback. You're not bringing him in to, you know, have a building block sort of year, which is why, to me, like, I don't look at them as a championship contender in the AFC. So it's fascinating. I think success, though, for them and for him, staying healthy, taking them to the playoffs, and winning a playoff game this time around. That, to me, feels like the best-case scenario for them. And I think it's achievable. Like, I don't think it's a pipe dream to see Pittsburgh maybe even winning the AFC North. It's one of the more wide-open divisions in the whole NFL, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, and it might be because of spoiled Steeler fans that this happens, but the standard is so high in Pittsburgh, and the standard's so high for one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in Aaron Rodgers, that last year was somehow viewed as a failure, even though they won 10 games, won the division. Rodgers' stats were the best he had in 5 years. And it's strange because of how that season's viewed, how they're kind of being overlooked this season. Like you mentioned the AFC North point. Like, given how wide open the AFC is, where the two favorites have rookie head coaches and Jesse Minter and Joe Brady with the Buffalo Bills, and New England's expected to take a step back, who won the conference last year. There isn't a team in the AFC that is super scary. So if you're looking at the best case scenario, it would not shock me at all if this team won 11 or 12 games and won a couple playoff games if the matchups drew up better than having to face that pass rush that you did in Houston.
You think they can make it to the AFC? You legitimately think
the AFC Championship game? The best case scenario. That's the best case was the question. I think that's not how success should be defined. Success should be defined as winning double-figure games, getting to the playoffs,
if it all goes
maybe
well,
winning a playoff game. But
I feel like that's the best
case
ceiling
for them. That is the ceiling.
Yeah.
The ceiling is the AFC Championship game. And given how wide open the AFC is, I just don't see a team that is so strikingly better. The teams that look strikingly better come from the other conference, San Francisco, the Rams.
So of the teams that we look at as the contenders and the favorites in the AFC, Pittsburgh would, without a shadow of a doubt, have the worst quarterback play. And a lot of this is a quarterback-driven league. And, like, when I'm stacking Rodgers up against Josh Allen, up against Lamar Jackson, Burrow.
Okay, hold 1 sec. I just misheard you. You were talking about the division a short while ago. I thought you were saying by far the worst quarterback play in that division.
No.
Cleveland's still in that division.
Well, I'll tell you this. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Cleveland gets better quarterback play this year from their guys, whatever combination of dudes it is. Wouldn't surprise me if that room outplayed Pittsburgh's room.
That would surprise me just because you're going to get Broderick Jones back on the O-line. You drafted O-line in the first round. You brought in Rico Dowdle to go along with your stable of backs. You brought in Bernard and you bring in Pittman as well to go with Metcalf. This offense, and then Rodgers just going into year 2 in an offense he's familiar with. I just don't see any
familiar. But this is my thing. This is my thing, and I hit on this the other night. Familiarity, it doesn't always breed greatness. That's been Aaron's problem here, is wanting the familiarity too much. And as the NFL has continued to evolve, you got to be able to create chunk plays in this league. And when you're dead last in the National Football League in yards per attempt, it limits you as an offense. It does. You got to be able to create big plays. All the best teams in this league, all the best offenses in this league, create big plays. And I think Pittsburgh, with Rodgers at quarterback, they're limited in their ability to do that, man. And I like what they have. Like, their infrastructure in Pittsburgh and then the infrastructure in Cleveland, both tailor-made for quarterback success, I would say. I just think Aaron at this point physically, like, are we sure he's going to be able to hold up? Are we sure? Last year in that Texans game, and the pressure's coming off the edges, coming from up the middle, he puts so much stress on your offensive line because of his inability to create. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. It's all going to be on their offensive line. I think he's going to be a supporting piece to whatever they have going on.
This segment sponsored by our friends at Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. That is Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham, and it is a wrap in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. We get first dibs on reacting to it, and so do you at 310-840-4910. We'll tell you what happened and what you should think about it. Next on Westwood One Sports Night.
The Patriots want revenge. The Broncos want payback. The Bills want retribution. It's all on the 2026 NFL schedule. And vengeance has never looked better. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Linnell, it's the beauty of a show like this. We get first dibs to react to the biggest games in sports. We need to talk about it. The Western Conference Finals. Vegas 4, Colorado 2. A shocking results in the NHL. That's the Western Conference Finals we're supposed to be.
Yeah,
About
sure,
right now.
right?
Right?
In Toronto.
It is. No, it's in Colorado. That's where it is, in Denver.
Oh, I was saying the
That's-
Toronto people. I know they're passionate about their hockey. That's all I'm saying.
They do love their hockey in Denver. That is low-key a shocking result. Go Carolina Hurricanes on Thursday night. Need them to handle their business. That's kind of nuts. They have a 12-day layoff. Were you familiar with that, by the way? The Canes have not played, Linnell, in 12 days. They swept their first two series. They've just been chilling. Could you imagine that in the NBA? 12 days.
It would kill you. You would come out and look like the New York Knicks in the way that they did in Game 1.
That is the concern as they face the Montreal Canadiens. Now getting to the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City 122, San Antonio 113. Linnell, tonight's game for me was about survival for the Thunder. They could not afford to go down 0-2 in this series, not against a team that beat you already in the regular season, 3 out of 4 with 3 double-digit wins. Also, losing the first 2 on your home court requires you then to win 4 of the next 5 games, with 3 of the next 4 being in San Antonio. Oklahoma City, quite simply, responded better to adversity than San Antonio did. The Spurs lost Dylan Harper. OKC lost Jalen Williams, both to hamstring injuries, we think. OKC's answer was Jared McCain, who reminded everyone why he was considered a Rookie of the Year frontrunner before getting hurt last season for Philadelphia. He hit three threes off the bench, or that was a couple seasons ago. San Antonio, meanwhile, was without Harper, without De'Aaron Fox, and they decided, let's run zone on defense and let's just continually turn the ball over. OKC responded better when they needed to. This game, they needed to simply survive, and they did.
Yeah, they did what they were supposed to do. When you're down your top three guards, or two of your top three guards, like that is a tall ask for a team in the conference finals for the first time. I thought San Antonio responded as well as they could. That's the best way that I would put it. OKC is the deeper team. Like, this is why being able to go 12 guys deep is important. San Antonio does not have the depth at the guard spot to be able to withstand no Dylan Harper, no De'Aaron Fox. If Dylan Harper would have finished this game, I do think San Antonio, and we'll never know, obviously, but I do think San Antonio would have won the basketball game. Stephon Castle's an interesting dude, man. I think they can't win without him. The turnovers are obviously a problem, but as I said in the open, like, that guy, that backcourt that they have, and I'm not trying to look ahead too much and concede and act as if this series is now over, because like I said, I expect it to go 7. But what you have gotten, what you have gotten out of Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle in this series, in this postseason, is absolutely spectacular. And if you're San Antonio, like, you hope and pray that Harper is not out too long. You cannot win this series down Dylan Harper, down De'Aaron Fox. I want to talk about Mitch Johnson when we get a chance.
Well, hold one second.
Yeah.
Let me double click on that for a second, though. If let's say, we hope that both guys are healthy and able to play in Game 3. We hope everybody's healthy. That's what we want, basketball at its best. But if both J-Dub and Dylan Harper are out, you're saying that's a much bigger deal for San Antonio than it is
100%. 100%. I think OKC
because
is more
of McCain?
equipped because of McCain, because of the ability to go 12 deep, dude. It's McCain. It's A.J. Mitchell. Like, it's Alex Caruso. Like, they have a mob off the bench. And when I'm saying going 12 deep, that's not like a hyperbole. Like, they're legitimately going 11, 12 guys deep here in this postseason. So I think, yes, OKC clearly much more equipped to be able to handle life without Jalen Williams. Here's my thing. It's the combination of Harper and Fox. When you have to play McLaughlin, you're screwed. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. When you have to get to him, in your rotation, like, you're in a bad spot, man. They had to go zone because who the hell do you hide him against? And I don't like the thought process behind it. OKC's arguably the best three-point shooting team in basketball. To just concede wide open looks, to me, I don't get it.
That's the only issue I have with your immediate reaction, that the Spurs reacted as good as they could have. Not if you think that they should have been in a zone. Shout out to Bomani Jones. Zone is for cowards. But then you also have the reaction where, I'm sorry, how many times were we sitting together watching this basketball game and you had the reaction, what's up with that turnover? What's up with that? I just not willing to accept, even though Steph Castle has to handle the ball more, I'm not willing to accept having more turnovers than James Harden had at his worst in a playoff game. 9
but
turnovers.
you have to live with it. You have to live with it because of what he does and the gravity of what he brings to them offensively. There is nobody on the perimeter, including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for OKC that can stay in front of Steph Castle. He is getting downhill, getting to the cup at will in this series. The tough part is the turnovers, because in Game 1, the turnovers didn't kill you. I thought San Antonio was really good getting back in transition. They looked fatigued tonight. And we're going to talk about the rebounding down the stretch with Hartenstein really dominating things. Wemby had, 24 rebounds in Game 1? He only had 17 tonight. They needed him to have another one only, but the expectation in the bar is so high when it's your man getting the rebounds, dude. Like, it's hard. That's your dude. Box out. Like, they need you to do that. Like, you're the only big on the floor. Who else is going to rebound here?
I mean, when you average 11, maybe 12 rebounds a game, I'm not going to say grabbing 5 boards more than your average is only. I mean, what we saw on Monday is not, even for Victor standards, the norm. That's not what it is.
I'm not going to.
Well, the reality
that's where we differ a little bit.
No, it can't be that. It can't be that every game. It just can't. Basketball history tells us that that's not what it is. And this is a 7-game series. It's a 6, maybe a 7-game series. Through 2 games, now we have the sample of the games at OKC. San Antonio did its job. San Antonio needed
100%.
to get one of the first 2 to get home court advantage back. The reality is, San Antonio, if you win your home games, then you're going to go to the NBA Finals. Does your view of who should win this series change after tonight?
We don't know yet because we still don't know what's up with Dylan Harper, Jalen Williams, and what their availability is going to be. If they're going to have to be without, talking about San Antonio, if they're going to have to be without Harper and Fox for an extended period of time, they can't win this series. They can't. And even as great as Wemby is, OKC is simply too deep.
Even if Jalen Williams is out.
Even if Jalen Williams is out, that's not a big deal for OKC. It's not. And it sucks. If they do, I'm going to be insufferable if somehow, some way, Foxy and Harper miss the rest of the series and Wemby wills this group to the damn finals. I'm going to be insufferable. I'm going to call him the greatest player of all time after this playoffs is over. Because that would be crazy. Against this team and how deep they are, I'm still impressed with, and you're going to say maybe I'm simping for San Antonio, their ability to be in this thing and have a shot. And they lost by a couple possessions. This thing was wire to wire down the stretch without Dylan Harper, without De'Aaron Fox. This was a gutsy effort on the road going against a team that was clearly more desperate than you going into it. You know it. OKC had to have this game. So I think San Antonio deserves a ton of credit. And I'll live with Stephon Castle's turnovers. I will. I don't think that's why they lost the game.
Someone needs to hose you down a little bit here. Push back just a little.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the fourth quarter. I wouldn't say it's wire to wire when it's a double-digit game. Like it was 109.
They got up 10. That's nothing.
110, 13 with 6 to go. It's not like Monday night, which was truthfully down the stretch, wire to wire. San Antonio was doing everything in its power to get it within 6, and I think they got it to 5 at 118-113 with about $1.25 to go, and then Oklahoma City closed it out. So we'll see. We have first dibs on reacting to this game. This is the big.
So you're saying you're not impressed by what San Antonio did tonight?
Not really. No, not that much because I have such a high standard for San Antonio. I expect them to be within 10 points, be within punching
without 2 of their top 3 guards against OKC.
If OKC had Jalen Williams,
come on,
we have a different view on Jalen Williams. I'm not gonna, to use your word, simp for a team that just lost by 9, that I think is going to win the finals, that I think is the best team in basketball, that I think is going to win this series. My opinion still hasn't changed on that. We do have 2 big stories. It's the Aaron Rodgers news that we're reacting to. We, in real time, get a chance to react to the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City 122, San Antonio 113 to knot up the series. Your thoughts are welcome. 310-840-4910. Did tonight change your view about the trajectory of this series? 310-840-4910. Mr. Positive is on the line and once in. Mr. Positive, what was your takeaway?
Boom, shakalaka, everybody go for your dreams. Before I get to Shea Butter, I want to talk about Rodgers and McCarthy. Here's the thing. I think it's 2 defining moments for the legacy of McCarthy and Rodgers. I think McCarthy understands the temperament of Rodgers' mindset. So I think it could be a good fit.
Mr.
But I
Positive.
just feel that, pardon?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just feel that it could work because their legacies are both on the line. I just feel that they have to do something, especially McCarthy. Rodgers' legacy has been, I think it's been cemented. But now when it comes to Shea Butter, here's the thing.
I love that.
You got the two. You got the 2 best MVP players, the face of basketball. These 2 of them, Shea Butter and Wemby. And here's the thing: Shea Butter plays under the radar. It's weird.
We get it. His name is Shea Gill. His name. We know your nickname. How many times are we going to say it on one call? Mr. Positive.
Yeah,
You're like Molly
The first
Santana
three times I was
getting his
good.
name
The
off
fourth
3
time
times on
I
the
had to
Future
jump
Drake
in. It doesn't. Did you have a point to make, or did you just want to see how many times you could say Shea Butter?
No, the point is that it's the face of basketball is being defined by these two. These are the two true MVPs going forward. And it's going to be a hell of a series. And you're right, 6 or 7. I'm going to give the edge to San Antonio. And basically, that's it, you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Mr. Positive.
I cannot, and I love San Antonio as much as anybody. Since February, I've been talking about them winning the finals. They can't
I've had
do
a
it.
14-1 ticket to win for them to win the final since January. So you and I both are relying.
They can't do it without Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox. Like, that's just my point. Like, I think that those two injuries are potentially crippling because I don't know how many more. Is it Jordan McLaughlin? I don't know how many more Jordan McLaughlin minutes I can stand.
Jordan McLaughlin.
Mitch Johnson.
Hey,
Can we just
shout out? While I'm giving shout out to the folks in LA. We're on in LA now, and Jordan McLaughlin's a USC guy, and he's a member, Denton Day, producer of the show, of the Bald Man Club. So you and him, Bald is beautiful. Jordan McLaughlin's beautiful as well. So how's that going too?
He's not good at basketball. That's the problem. He is a net negative for them. They have to play a totally different defense when he's on the floor. Thank God he was able to hit 2 threes. Or else, like, what else is he out there for, man? Mitch Johnson, play Harrison Barnes. Can we get this out to the world? Play Harrison Barnes, Mitch Johnson.
Black Falcon.
What the hell are you doing,
Falcon.
pal?
Black
You can't
Falcon.
go in a series, especially against Oklahoma City, where everybody's 6'4" and up. Like, you can't play Jordan McLaughlin. You just can't.
Harrison Barnes. Target.
Need it.
Reaction.
Play Lindy
310.
Waters.
840-4910. Put Robert Horry out there. 310-840-4910. What's Bruce Bowen up to?
Mitch Johnson might as well hop out of his damn quarter zip and go play his
Avery
damn
Johnson.
self.
Put Avery Johnson out there. That's what they need.
Can we talk about Shea too, though, man? Like, for him to have the first half that he had. Shea Butter, excuse me. For him to have the first half that he had in game 1, only scoring 4 points, came alive in the fourth quarter when they needed him. Tonight from the outset, aggressive, on the MVP timing that we know, getting downhill, knocking down jump shots. And look, the battle, my favorite matchup, I think, in this series is probably SGA versus Stephon Castle. The way that those two dudes are going at each other. And by the way, we talk about the injury situation with Harper and Fox. Castle may be under arrest for assault for what he did to Isaiah Hartenstein, dunking on him the way that he did. He may not be available for the next game. I was impressed, though, by Castle and SGA tonight.
DeJounte Murray, put him in. Marco Bellinelli, throw him out there. Figure it out. Just trying to think of other obscure.
Former Spurs.
Patty
yeah.
Mills.
Yeah,
Patty Mills. Get him out
Yeah,
there.
go
You
get
need
Patty
him.
Mills.
Figure it out. I got something in me, Coach. Let's do it. 310-840-4910. Continuing to get your reaction to OKC San Antonio. And while this series is just getting started, is it possible that the Eastern Conference Finals is, to quote the great Billy Packer, over? That's next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Aaron Rodgers says this season is his last.
Yes, this is it. Yeah.
Will Rodgers go out like John Elway and Peyton Manning did with a Lombardi trophy in his hands? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Couple of housekeeping notes, Linnell Willingham. We are getting your reaction to OKC knotting up the series with San Antonio, 310-840-4910. That is a call number, but that's also a text line as well. If you'd like to text us and engage with us and our community, go to Westwood One Sports Night on YouTube, because as Pine Needle spells out, this is such an incredibly fun chat room, especially after a few cocktails. Yep, that does check out. And shout out to Aaron, who pointed out that I don't know anything about moisturizer. So the chat gets a little loose from time to time, Linnell.
I just
Let's
know
go.
sold. That was me. That was me. No selling the chat, by the way. So the battle lines have been drawn. Is what I would say. That's my last reference for the rest of the night. There will be no mistaking where I
310-840.
stand with the chat.
4910. Okay. I didn't know there was a rivalry between
You can call it that.
and
You'd have
our
to be able to
community
compete if
and
there
our-
was a rivalry, Josh.
Wow. Some
Yeah.
hit on a nerve. Didn't mean to do so. Let's go to Bert, who's in Baltimore. 310-840-4910. Bert, did tonight change your view on the Western Conference Finals at all?
What's up, boys? No, it didn't. I can't believe De'Aaron Fox's injury wasn't more widely known, that it was as bad as it was. I don't think, Linnell, I heard you say you don't think, what's the dude who got hurt tonight?
Harper, Dylan Harper. If he was healthy, Bert,
Harper's out.
if he was healthy and there was no Fox, I think they would have a shot.
I agree, but I don't think they can win the series unless Fox comes back. I haven't seen much information as to whether that's a certainty or not. I think if Fox doesn't come back, they can't win. If he does come back, they do win. A basketball team without a point guard is not, they're no different than playing with their second or third team quarterback right now. It's a next to impossible task. I sure would love to see him healthy. Linnell, I do have one question for you, and I'll take it off the air. I don't like James Larden either.
Larden?
But why? But with that said, Harden made 35 baskets in the last series and had 31 turnovers. You know, you're always talking about more turnovers than baskets, and that's a terrible ratio. But Steph Castle has made 15 baskets and has 20 turnovers himself. Why are you not up here, in his grill? Why are you willing to take what he gives you? Why aren't you giving him a hard time? I'll hang up and listen, guys. Thanks.
This is Steph Castle's first time in the conference finals, and he's giving you way more offense than James Harden is. Giving you way more offense. I would definitely double check and fact check the turnover to basket made ratio that Bert just gave. But James Harden isn't impacting the game offensively the way that Stephon Castle is. He is getting downhill at will, going straight at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, he's turning the ball over at times, but outside of him, who else has the ability to really break the defense down and create shots for other people?
This is a good segue, too. Let's just hit on this before circling back to Rodgers and circling back to the Western Conference Finals. This Knicks-Cavs series is already over. This is a wrap. It's one game in, Josh, and so much can happen. Sure. Short of devastating injuries knocking the Knicks down a few pegs, this is a wrap. We've known this was going to be a wrap for a while. Game one was Cleveland's best shot. New York was coming off more than a week of rest. We saw the rust and how slow it was to hit shots. The Cavaliers, again, we don't need to fully relitigate it. They built a 22-point fourth quarter lead. You're not going to come closer to winning at Madison Square Garden than you're going to come close as you did there. And the fact that they lost the game that way is going to cost them game two, too, because not all losses are made the same. Some linger, and that's one that's going to linger. And the longer this series goes, Linnell, the more Cleveland's legs get exposed. There are no travel days in this series. There aren't any long layoffs in between. The Knicks, they, again, had the 9 days to rest, more than a week. The Cavaliers, they didn't just go 7 games in the last series. They went 7 games in the first series against the Raptors, too. So this is not going to go longer than 5. Cleveland's a flawed team. They're going to be a tired team, and they missed their shot in Game 5. So Cleveland, they might get one at home. They're not winning it in MSG. So this is going to be either a 4 or a 5-game series as far as I see it. Do you agree that it's over and not going longer than 5?
Felt that way after that epic collapse last night, man. That was brutal to watch, and you saw down the stretch the fatal flaws of Cleveland show up. Outside of Dean Wade, they don't have a legitimate perimeter defender that can stay in front of Jalen Brunson. I need to see more Dennis Schroeder from Kenny Atkinson coming up here in Game 2. You can't play James Harden 42 minutes. You just can't. He's not giving you enough on either end of the floor to warrant him playing that many minutes. But it's tough, man. Like, clearly going in, New York, the better team. They've looked like the best team in the Eastern Conference throughout the entirety of the playoffs. Cleveland doesn't have an answer for Jalen Brunson is the simplest way I could put it. Like,
They did have an answer for the first 3 quarters and change, but then they just
You can't say they had an answer. The man finished with 38 points. Like,
yeah, but he had how many of those points were in the final 6 minutes in overtime? Like,
well, that
half
was
them. Half of them.
the ability to go at James Harden.
18 of those points were in the final 6.5 minutes in overtime. Yeah, if you have Jalen Brunson at 18 or 19 points with 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes to go in the game, I'd say you've had an answer.
I thought at the beginning of this basketball game, you saw how many shots were airballed by the New York Knicks. They looked like a team that had been off for the last 9 days. They couldn't hit the wide side of a barn. I don't credit the Cleveland defense for him not going off in the first half, in the first 3.5 quarters. They were just missing shots. In the fourth quarter, though, they played Brunson ball. I hated it when they did it last year with Tom Thibodeau. I think it's so unimaginative and so uncreative, and with all the guys they have, you should be not so reliant upon him. But, like, when there's a mouse in the house, so to speak, when there is James Harden on the floor and you can hunt him out at will the way that they did, like, yeah, he's going to go off. You can only hold him down for so long.
A lot of stuff going on right now. You have, obviously, the NBA playoffs. Going to be locked in on that Thursday night. But on the second screen, see, since the series is over, Cavs-Knicks gets the second screen in the Graham abode because the Carolina Hurricanes get the first screen trying to win the Stanley Cup. Still haven't lost a game, Linnell. 8-0 so far.
That is impressive. How will you celebrate?
Firing it up. No, if they win the Stanley Cup, dude, I have 2 teams, man. One of them I've completely written off. You're not going to be seeing me wear Orioles gear for a while. I think I'm done.
Thank God.
I think I'm done with them in May. Linnell, they got swept by the Rays today, and they had already gotten swept in a 4-game series by the Yankees so far. Broke my heart today. They were up 3-1 in the 8th and just completely blew it. And I think I'm done. I think today is going to be the last day I talk about the Orioles for a long time. I don't know what would need to happen, Linnell, for me to bring up the Orioles again on this show.
That is A-okay with me, Josh. I promise you, I am just fine with that. Nothing.
You sure? I thought you're a super baseball guy.
I think I'll be able to. I think I'll be able to sleep just fine tonight. Honestly.
Yeah. See, I lean on you for the baseball analysis. Los Doyers.
I lean on you for the hockey analysis.
Dude. Last week we were going back and forth. You had hot takes about the Sabres against the Canadiens. We'll see how Montreal does.
I was trying to get you to explain the line change and how important the line shifts they made down the stretch was how important it was to winning the game.
That's it. Like that's going to matter in Montreal, Carolina.
You
get ready. It's
you
great
get
analysis
ready
on your part.
Especially if the man in net is on his head for 4 out of the 7 games, man. I mean, it could be something.
That's it, man.
Dobesh, I thought it was, huh?
That's what scares me. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not Dobesh. Thank you.
You're all over it.
Dobesh.
You're all over it. Let's go to Josh, who's in Miami. He's all over game to
Josh. Josh has got something for me tonight. I know Josh got something for me tonight. Josh, what's going on, bro?
Hold one second. Before we let Josh go, what am I missing, Linnell? Catch me up.
Well, Josh was simping for Oscar Robertson last night.
Josh in Miami, turn down your radio.
You got to turn your radio, Josh.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
All right. No, y'all, somebody cut me off last night before I could finish what I was trying to explain. Is I go by my GOAT in 10-year decades.
Okay.
And that's what I was trying to make a point to. That's what I was trying to make a point to.
So you were saying he was the GOAT of his decade, not... Okay.
He was the GOAT of his decade.
Turn down your radio, Josh.
Josh Graham, you sound horrible coming out of Josh in Miami's radio.
There you go. Better.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Are
Yes.
we good?
We can hear you. I'm
Yes,
sorry
we're
that you
good.
guys have to hear us.
Go.
Actually,
Go.
now that I'm hearing how you guys hear us, I am sorry that you guys have to. This is hilarious.
All right. So
Josh,
go. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is like, I can't sit there and listen to anybody defend Harden and put him in the top 3 for shooting guards. The guy has no defense. And when you don't play in the playoffs and you have no defense, I don't want to hear you in the conversation. Stephon Castle would be doing the same thing to Harden. He'd just be dropping past him and dunking on whoever's under there. That's all I got to say tonight, bro. I'm going to hang up and listen.
I appreciate
go Knicks.
you, man.
Go Knicks.
Yeah. And now you could turn up your
Did he just try to compare James Harden to Steph? I'm telling you, by the end of this series, I feel like I'm going to be saying
I might have caused this by talking about the 9 turnovers, doing a James Harden impression.
they're not. It's not. Are you serious? You're going to call it a James Harden impression?
If you have 9 turnovers in a playoff game, I think about James Harden.
He had 11 in game 1. They wouldn't have won without him, though. Like, what he's giving you on the offensive end outside of the turnovers, I would say. When you're playing at that speed and it's a track meet the way that it's been, you're going to turn the ball over. You're going to turn the ball over.
D-Day, is it right to say that, like, I give off the vibe to phone callers that of, like, a principal? Like, getting people straight. Turn down your radio and stop saying Shea Butter 4 times in 30 seconds. Getting people straight in line.
Some would call it a principle. Some would call it a dictatorship. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, it's more.
Well, one's a little
more. I got
easier
you. No, I got you.
to
I'm
put
just
down than the
yanking
other.
your chain, pal. That's all. Let's have some fun tonight.
You get detention for that. Getting back to the Aaron Rodgers news.
Spank me, Joe.
Does he deserve to go out on his own terms? One of us doesn't think so. And that's next to Westwood One Sports Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
That's Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. OKC 112, San Antonio 113. The series knotted up 1 game apiece. We'll have post-game sound from the coaches, players, 20 minutes from now. Hopefully injury updates as well. Why are you laughing, Linnell?
No, I was belching. Sorry.
Oh, big smile on your face.
Well, I always have a big smile on my face, you know? I'm Linnell Willingham.
There is a 12-year-old nature to you a little bit. I have an 18-month-old son, and he giggles at the dumbest things, like when a ball hits my head or something. He'll just go, ha, 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 ha. Like this. It doesn't surprise me that the sound
Was
of
that
your
like
own
you trying
belch,
to imitate Baby Dan? That's a crazy imitation.
yeah, the sound of your own belch makes you smile. Doesn't surprise me at
I
all.
was looking at myself, and that made me smile, if I'm being honest.
Let's get to
good lighting tonight.
the big news in the NFL today. Aaron Rodgers announces a Coach K, Kobe Bryant-like retirement tour that's going to happen in 2026. He announces that he will retire after this coming football season. The question from this is, well, a couple of things. Number one, how do you feel about retirement tours in general? But what is your retirement gift going to be for Aaron Rodgers? 310-840-4910. What would you give him as a retirement gift? Because for me, to answer the first question, Aaron Rodgers absolutely, positively deserves to go out on his own terms. Had no issue with him dragging it out. Had no issue making this decision. Had no issue with this being known publicly if he wants it to be. Because he is, truthfully, one of the all-time greats. When we think of the golden age of quarterback play, that we got from the 2000s with Brady and Manning and Favre and Roethlisberger and Breeze. And if you want to go further than that, you can with Rivers and Eli. And he's part of that group. And he's the last of that group. And when his career ends, he's going to finish top 5 in these categories. Career wins for a quarterback, passing yards, touchdowns, completions. He won a Super Bowl and 4 MVPs. There's only one player in NFL history that has won 4 MVPs or more. His name's Peyton Manning. So he's one of the all-time greats. He has a chance. He should be given the chance to go out however he pleases, especially when he's coming off his best season he's had in years. In 2025, Linnell, Rodgers had his best QB rating since 2021, 24 TDs, 7 picks, 66% completion, over 3,300 yards passing, won 10 games, won the division. The Steelers were proven right to wait for him. There was not a better alternative available for this team, especially when you factor in team chemistry year 2 with Rodgers and the relationship with Mike McCarthy. Rodgers even said this, by the way. He said his prior relationship with McCarthy swayed him in returning, that he, after Mike Tomlin decided to step away, resign, it almost led to Rodgers stepping away as well from the game. Here was Aaron earlier today.
Yeah, I love Mike T. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in last year and love my experience with him. And, you know, I thought when he said he was stepping away, that was an emotional moment just because we all love him so much and care about him. And, you know, I thought that that was probably it for me in Pittsburgh. But when the decision was made to hire Mike, I started opening my mind back up to coming back.
I'm so annoyed by all of this. And I'm normally not that guy because I feel like a lot of people have let their personal feelings about Aaron Rodgers, the person, influence how they evaluate him as a quarterback. I think he always is overly criticized. But, like, dog, if the Pittsburgh Steelers, it goes back to what we said earlier, if there was any influence, if he had any influence in hiring Mike McCarthy, they're lost as an organization, first and foremost. Second of all, I can give a rat's ass about their relationship. If they love each other so much, go have a steak together. Go to Robinson Town Center out in Pittsburgh and go have a steak together. What did he do last year to warrant a $10 million pay raise and to be handed the job again coming into this year? I get that he's a top 5. I get what he's done. I get what he's done over the course of his career. I get he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He is so far from that guy. And if you're Pittsburgh, I go back to what I've been saying, man. Stop dating to have one-night stands. Date to marry at the damn quarterback position.
But
you know that he has no chance of being your long-term answer.
Why do you bring up, like, how much more money he's making? It's May. These rosters are almost completely set.
Why is that what you chose to double click on? The bottom line is he's 43. They need to be moving on and giving Will Howard a chance.
Well, you said it. I just want to know how it's relevant.
Because what did he do to deserve the pay rate? Like, I think, and you love to throw out the highest QBR since in 5 years. He's dead last in the NFL in yards per attempt. They can't create explosive plays to save the. You have DK Metcalf, one of the best deep threats in football, and you're last in the NFL in yards per attempt. You cannot win legitimately and win at a high level. You can make the wild card game and get your teeth punched in by the Texans. You cannot win big-time football games with this version of Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh's offensive line isn't good enough to be able to support him. He's dead last in yards per attempt because he's got to get the ball out of his hands. They don't. He can't move. He can't move. I'm so annoyed with all of this.
Didn't you just say you can't write off Pittsburgh to win the AFC North? Which one is it? Can they win with Aaron Rodgers the division, or can't they win?
What? They can't make it to the AFC Championship. That's the prism we're talking about them from. I have never once said yes, they can compete to win the division.
You just said they can't
and
win
host
with Aaron Rodgers. So
they can't win
the AFC
big.
North's not winning?
No, that they can't win big. You know, we're talking about it through the lens of the AFC Championship. You can make it to the damn. You can win the North with Will Howard.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
It's Will
Yeah, you
Howard.
can.
Are
Yeah,
we
you
comparing
can.
Will Howard? Are we comparing Will Howard to Aaron
To
Rodgers?
43-year-old Aaron Rodgers? Yes, the hell I am. You keep
24
talking.
TDs, 7 picks, 66 completion, Aaron Rodgers. And Will Howard ain't doing that.
24 TDs to 7 picks. Is he Taylor Heineke? Is that the bar that we're setting for him? Is he Taylor Heineke or is he Aaron Rodgers? Like, are you kidding? How do you watch Aaron Rodgers play quarterback last year for the Steelers and think that he's the best option going? Anybody that looks at that, Dan Orlovsky, any of your favorite pundits that look at Aaron Rodgers and think last year that's playoff championship level play at the quarterback position, open your eyes.
It's two different things that you're saying. I'm not saying they can win a championship with him. I'm saying
You're
that's
saying
okay,
they can
though.
make it. You're saying they have the chance to make it to the conference title game.
That's their
There's
ceiling.
no shot.
Ceiling.
Their ceiling. Their ceiling is winning 9-10 games and making it to the wild card round. If they're lucky, like if everything goes well, that's what
So
to me
not
their
be
ceiling
better.
is.
So their ceiling is matching last year's win total?
Yes.
Ceiling.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Now they've gotten. But look, here's the one thing I would say. My issue is more about their reluctance to move on from him. I don't understand why they're infatuated with him. Defensively, if you want to talk about what they got better, you added Jaquan Brisker, you added Darnell Savage, you added Jamel Dean. They've added real pieces defensively. I love what they have on defense.
Love the offensive pieces,
I like
too.
I like
Rico
the offensive.
Dowdle
I don't like the
Bernard
quarterback.
and Pittman.
I don't like the quarterback.
I just didn't see a better alternative available. That's the thing. There wasn't a better
Kyler
alternative.
Murray.
Nah, Aaron
Will
Rodgers.
Howard, you're in year one with Mike McCarthy. Why are we acting like the goal should be to make it to the damn AFC Championship game in year one?
Well, who do you think is the best team in the AFC?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
I do.
What goals do you think Buffalo and Baltimore should have this year?
They should be looking to try to win the Super Bowl.
But you just said that if you have a first-year coach that you shouldn't.
I said nothing. I said nothing about the first-year coach. You're in year
you
one
said
with
you have
no
a first-year
quarterback.
coach.
Look at what you have at quarterback. Look at what you. That's why you shouldn't be trying to win the Super Bowl.
I don't think they can, and I think that's fine.
I'm more
I
so
think,
getting
by the way-
frustrated now with the conversation because this is like baffling to me. I feel like I'm being like asked to walk into a freezer naked. Like, of course, I'm shivering. This idea, like, no one has still been able to tell me why they brought Aaron Rodgers back. Why do we think this is going to be better?
Because there wasn't a better alternative.
He's a year older. What, you think he's going to get more arm strength? You think he's going to become more mobile? You think he's going to be
better
more
weapons,
durable?
better protection.
The protection's the damn same, for one. The weapons are
They
better,
drafted a first-rounder, and Broderick
The
Jones is going to be healthy.
The weapons are fine. What type of run-after-the-catch threat is Michael Pittman? Let me ask you that, because that's what the Steelers should have been going after. When you have a quarterback
Bernard's
that's dead
more
last,
than Pittman.
when you have a quarterback that's dead last in yards per attempt, you should be trying to get guys that are quick and twitchy that can win immediately underneath and make guys miss. They don't have that in their receiving core. They don't.
Let's see what the calls think. Let's go to Super Rusty Day, who wants in from Detroit. 310-840-4910 if you want in. If you want to tell us what the retirement gift should be for Aaron Rodgers, or just your thoughts on the matter whatsoever, whether or not he should be able to finish his career on his own terms. 310-840-4910. Super Rusty Day, where do you stand?
What's up, fellas? And hello to the United States of America. And I just want to say, can you smell what Super Rossi Day is cooking? It's controversy, it's excitement, and it's brilliance. Let's get to the NFL, but I wanted to comment on NBA too right quick.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing. He deserves a second ring. If he doesn't get that second ring, yes, he deserves a second ring. If he doesn't get that second ring, I would hope that he can at least get a, NFC or AFC conference championship ring. But here's the thing,
Have you ever watched
well.
the movie? Have you ever watched the movie Super Rusty Day, Unforgiven, starring Gene Hackman and Clint Eastwood? You ever see that Western from the 90s?
Yes, I have.
There's the line at the end of the movie when Gene Hackman is getting killed by Clint Eastwood, where he says, "Deserve's got nothing to do with it." That's how I feel about Aaron Rodgers, where deserved. I'm sorry, they don't give you what you deserve. They give you what you earn.
This is the guy that's been pontificating. The guy that's been pontificating his stats from 10, 15 years ago just said that now he doesn't deserve to. Good gracious.
Check this out. That's just how I feel about it. I'm quite sure a lot of other people do feel the same way. But let me say this. What can I give to Aaron Rodgers? more
Yeah.
hope to come back another year or another year after that to at least get that ring. He can change his mind. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers here. He can change his mind. Now let's get to the NBA right quick. More weapons. It's all about who has more weapons. San Antonio has lesser weapons than OKC. I'm for the Knicks. I would like for us to play against San Antonio because guess what? Lesser weapons. It seems like they only have like a one-trick pony.
You were rolling, but then you mentioned the Knicks winning the finals, and that's
Thank you. We have more calls to get to, by the way. Super Rusty Day. Thanks for the call.
That's where you lost me.
Appreciate
What a call, though. Super Rusty Day. Is this like Denton's alter ego? There has to be some connection with the word that day is. I'm something's going on there. I'm sure of it.
Something. All right, I don't know. Maybe. Let's go to Anthony in Pittsburgh. I'm being told Anthony's fired up on the subject. Anthony, you're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's probably mad at what I said about his Steelers. Those Yinzers.
Help us out.
No, I am not. I agree with you. I mean, unfortunately, Art II is sabotaging his own team. There's no way in the world they could have watched the film of Aaron Rodgers play and someone decided, let's bring that back again. He was god-awful. I mean, there were games. I mean, the Cleveland game, the last Cleveland game before the Baltimore game was the cincher for me, where they didn't even score a touchdown. And that game, if they win that game, the Baltimore game would have been meaningless. You could have rested some people and maybe played better against Houston.
How did Aaron look in the Pittsburgh game? Just curious.
He's cooked. And
or
Mr.
the
Rooney.
Baltimore game. In the Baltimore game, how did he look? I think he looked pretty good, not cooked.
It's a bad Ravens defense. Like it's a bad Ravens defense. Like
the Browns defense is pretty.
He also let up a bad Detroit defense. What do you do against Buffalo?
No, I just say, what's your alternative though? Okay, you could tell me.
Will Howard is the alternative.
No, I'm not asking you. I heard you. I'm asking him.
No, you listen. Look, fortunately for me, I'm old enough. I've seen this team since Bill Austin was coach before Chuck Noll.
All right, let's play him at quarterback. Let's put Ben Roethlisberger out there. Let's throw Terry Bradshaw while we still got him.
Let me just say this quickly. The only time this team has ever been great is when they had Bradshaw and Roethlisberger. Outside that, they've been good and mediocre. And they're back to mediocre.
You guys haven't had a losing season in a quarter century, and I got to hear that you guys haven't been good?
What is that?
What are we talking about?
That's standard for others. The Patriots have 6 and we have 6. You want to have 6 Super Bowl wins and more. Anything else is mediocre, and we don't like mediocre around here.
I hear it. You say mediocre. I hear spoiled, and I appreciate the call. Good to hear from you, Linnell. I can't do it because again, I live in North Carolina. I had to watch a team in the Carolina Panthers. I wonder what Jet fans think, where it's like, oh my God, having a winning record every year is awful. Like a Browns fan hearing that, who last decade had to watch their team win one game in 2 years. And I have to hear how, oh my God, how could you watch last season when we won the division and went 10-7 and the quarterback had 24-7 in terms of TD and touchdown? Oh my God, how could you think to bring that back? And that's the problem. That's the issue, where it's this crazy spoiled fan base that's looking at it this way.
It's a mediocre quarterback play. It's what they got last year, man. It's mediocre what he looked like at times last year. Look at the stretch of play. This 3-game stretch, Chargers, Bengals, Bills, 16 of 31 for $161, a touchdown, 2 picks, 9 of 15 for a touchdown, 10 of 21 for 117, no touchdown. Dude, I don't know what it is, and I think I'm glad the last caller brought up Art II, because I do think the issues with the Steelers go up to the top. Like, all the reports we heard is that Mike Tomlin was super influential in personnel decisions, and I initially was not on board with that. But you look at some of the decisions here post Mike Tomlin, I go as far as even saying, why did you hire Mike McCarthy? Because Aaron told you to? If they hired Mike McCarthy because they knew they were bringing Aaron back, that is ludicrous.
Jake, Chase, Chance, and others, we see you. We'll get to you, 310-840-4910 if you want in. What would be your retirement gift for Aaron Rodgers in reacting to this news and to our reaction to it? That's fun, reacting to reactions. Also, as mentioned, we have post-game audio from OKC San Antonio, hopefully getting some injury updates that are going to be very important as the series goes on. All that on the way on Westwood One Sports Night.
The Rams, led by NFL MVP Matthew Stafford, headline the league with 7 primetime games. Catch them all on the Westwood One Sports app. The schedule is out, and we're breaking down what it means for your team. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
That's Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. Our guy Denton Day finding post-game sound from the game that just wrapped up. OKC 112, San Antonio 113, knotting up the series. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go to the phones. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. He's back. This is going to be his last season, he says. It's a retirement tour. So if you could give Aaron Rodgers a retirement gift, what would it be? 310-840-4910. And does he deserve the right to go out on his own terms? Linnell doesn't think so. Says the Steelers made a mistake by giving Rodgers this type of an opportunity. I think Rodgers should be able to go out on his own terms because I thought he was good last year, and I think he's an all-time great. Let's go to Jake, who's in Sacramento. Jake from Sacktown. Where are you on Rodgers? Do you have any gift ideas?
Yeah, so let me preface this by saying I'm a diehard Packer fan, been born and raised a Packer fan in my entire life, so I'm a little biased when it comes to Rodgers. But what I will say is Aaron Rodgers had Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson as his wide receivers 2 and 3 to throw the ball to last year, and the ghost of Adam Thielen. So it's not like he was thrown to the Bengals receiving corps or, hell, even the Packers receiving corps, or someone who's semi-decent.
And Adam Thielen wasn't added until, I think, right around the deadline. So he wasn't even in camp, the offseason, any of that.
No, exactly. I mean, that's my point, right? It's not like he was thrown to, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. He was thrown to Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin as wide receivers 2 and number 3.
What is the end game for the Steelers here at quarterback? What do they get out of bringing Aaron Rodgers back?
You give your third-round pick from this year time to grow and develop under a Hall of Fame quarterback who has a cannon of an arm and has the ability to be a starter at this level. You don't draft Drew Aller reference,
or you're talking about Drew Aller?
Is it Aller? Or
I'm talking about Drew Aller being a hell of a lot better option than Will Howard. You don't make.
I don't agree with
that. A healthy scratch in 15 of 17 games because Will Howard is good.
The last regime decided to do that, not this one. All Mike McCarthy's done since he's gotten there is praise Will Howard. And he's the backup quarterback currently. You go out to Latrobe and watch practices. He's one play away currently. If they're comfortable enough to make him for a team that's got Super Bowl aspirations, as you all keep saying, right? Because there's a veteran group. You brought Aaron Rodgers back not to go to the wild card round. You brought him back to go to the Super Bowl. If you're willing to entrust a second-year fifth rounder to be one play away, obviously you think pretty highly of the kid.
No, but you have to, considering the fact that Drew Aller's coming off a torn ACL.
No, you have Mason Rudolph. You have Mason Rudolph.
Jake, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate it
Drew
for
Aller's
this
getting
reason.
14
so
reps.
The Big Ten wet dream of it being debated on national sports talk. Drew Aller versus Will Howard is what we're discussing.
Drew Aller was not what Will Howard did at Ohio State. Drew Aller never got close to touching any of that production or ability.
Here's the issue.
Are you kidding?
Here's the issue, though, Linnell. Here's the problem. You don't seem to see value at all in winning your division and winning double-digit games. Like you keep saying, what's the point? What's the end game? Well, why not? What's wrong with winning your division?
You
and having
need
a
long-term answer at quarterback. Stop playing. I'm going to keep using the same analogy.
There wasn't an option.
You're having a bunch of one-night stands at quarterback. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields,
Will Howard's
Aaron
that
Rodgers.
Guy.
Dog.
They don't believe Will Howard's that guy.
So what you're telling me is that the Pittsburgh Steelers for the rest of time should just keep having one-night stands at quarterback, right? You tell me a good team that wins with a journeyman quarterback year in and year out. You have to find your long-term answer at the game's most important position. And playing Aaron Rodgers is not getting you any closer to doing that.
I gave you an answer. You wanted a question? Seattle just won the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold, journeyman quarterback. Am I wrong? You asked the question. I answered it.
Because you answer in this condescending, like you know what I mean and what I'm saying. They for years have neglected that's not how you win in this league. That's not.
Seattle just did it. They just did. What do you mean?
You're comparing Pittsburgh's supporting cast in defense in receiving core.
I'm not.
Why did they
I'm
do
not.
it, though, Josh? You're saying they did it. Why did they do it with Sam Darnold? Because they got arguably the best supporting cast in football. Does Pittsburgh have that? No. So it's malpractice to be rolling out Aaron Rodgers at 43 years old.
Not if you can win. Not if you can win the AFC North and he's the best option available. There's nothing wrong with winning 11 games in the league. Like, what's the end game? He's the best option available.
In the NBA, what do we talk about in the NBA? Being stuck in the middle. Why do you want to be stuck at 9-8 and 8-9 if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers? Go find a long-term answer.
Yeah, they did. It just wasn't available here. I agree with you. If you want it, great, but you don't have it.
No, you go get it. You create your own luck. You go find a guy.
Okay.
If you obviously the last 2 years you've liked two dudes in Will Howard and Drew Aller. The damn coach that you hired likes Will Howard so much that he's giving him second-team reps to start OTAs.
And
he
then
is
brought
one
back
play
a
away.
43-year-old quarterback, waited
Correct.
for him in May, and then drafted Drew Aller in round 3 because they love that guy so much and believe in him so much. So again, actions
And the reports
speak
you're
louder
hearing,
than words.
and the reports you're hearing coming out of Pittsburgh is that they're breaking Drew Aller's mechanics down to the studs. He's going to be a healthy scratch week in and week out. He's not going to play. There's no way you watch Drew Aller at Penn State and think that Drew Aller is going to come in and be a franchise quarterback.
I agree with that.
Inconsistent as hell.
Let's go to Chase in Maryland, 310-840-4910. Chase, your reaction to all of this is?
Guys, I can't even believe we're talking about Drew Aller. I'm on board with you there. You could argue that guy regressed every season
Literally.
at Penn State. Every season. I can't even believe we're having that conversation that people are bringing him up. Look, here's the thing. It's not an ideal situation for Pittsburgh to do this. I'm not arguing that whatsoever. But they are in win-now mode with the team that they have. They got a taste of it last year. You sneak into the playoffs. You barely get in. I'm glad you brought up Sam Darnold because that is exactly the way that this offense needs to model itself with a 43-year-old quarterback. And the thing that we're forgetting, yes, they add the offensive lineman. They have DK Metcalf. They go out and they get Pittman. They got Rico Dowdle. You run the ball with him and Jalen Warren 30 times a game. Aaron Rodgers should not be throwing the ball any more than 25 times a game, tops. Allow your quarterback to make quick decisions, throw about 20 times a game, run that offense through Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren. And this team with the defensive additions and the help that they have now, Rodgers maybe gets some luck that reignites with Mike McCarthy. This team might surprise some people. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? No. But this is the best move that they can make right now because there was not a single quarterback out there. Tua, Kirk Cousins. There's nobody else they could have got for this year. Roll the dice for one more year. Next year in a heavy quarterback class in the draft, then you'd readjust at that point. Thanks for the call, guys.
I think I'm with you. Thanks for the call. I agree with all of that.
That's how I feel right now.
I agree with all of that.
This thing has got me jacked up. I'm just – this idea – first of all, back to you trying to compare Sam Darnold to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close the level of play that each of the two teams got from their respective guy. Sam Darnold doo-dooed on Aaron Rodgers last year in terms of productivity, pushing the ball down the field, creating explosive plays. This is not the 1950s.
Hold one second.
You have to be able to create chunk plays
second.
offensively.
Don't mischaracterize what I said. You said, what's the time that somebody goes for journeyman quarterbacks in order to win in this league? And
this journeyman, it just got a multi-year extension.
Smith. And they just did it with Geno Smith before Sam Darnold. So that's the way Seattle's done it. And they just won the Super Bowl that way. That's the reason I brought it up. I didn't bring it up as a means to say that Aaron Rodgers is better or on par with Sam Darnold, but they are veteran quarterback, journeyman quarterbacks. That's the reason I brought up Sam Darnold.
Teams that have sustained success in this league do not rely on journeyman quarterbacks. It just is what it is. I think anybody that follows football would agree with that. My whole thing is, why waste this year of development for Will Howard? On the job
Howard isn't it.
On the job training is how you get better at quarterback. You don't know what you have in a guy until you give him a chance to play. That's the bottom line. The NFL, more than any other sport, man, practice differs so much from a damn game. You can evaluate Will Howard in practice all you want. You got to see him when live bullets are flying, when he's asked to maneuver around the pocket and dodge a pass rush, something that Aaron Rodgers is terrible at this juncture of his career. I'm playing him off the strength of him simply being the better athlete. Our offense has more of an upside, more of an ability to push the ball down the field, more of the abilities to create chunk plays with Will Howard at quarterback more than Aaron Rodgers, just based off of where he's 43, guys. He's 43. This is my thing that I keep going back to. Like, why are we know what Aaron Rodgers is at this point. Will Howard is an unknown. It would be organizational malpractice for the Pittsburgh Steelers to go through the 2026 season and not have a definitive answer on what Will Howard is. 110%.
That sounds like, to me, the Family Guy bit where Peter is on a game show and it says, like, he just won the boat, but, oh, wait, you have the option between the boat and the mystery option, the mystery box. And Peter says, Lois, don't pick the boat because it could be anything in the mystery box, even a boat. Even a boat.
I actually know this reference
box.
for once.
Should we go, I'll give you the dealer's choice option, Linnell. Should we go back
Talk
to the
to
phones or should we play post-game sound? Should we get to the post-game
I want to
sound in
hear.
just a second, or do you want more calls?
I can't lie. I'm hot to see what Steeler fans think about
Okay,
what
let's
we
go to
have
Pittsburgh
here.
then. Brandon's in Pittsburgh. Let's hear from Brandon. 310-840-4910. Brandon, you're listening to this, and your reaction is?
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
We got you,
Yes,
brother.
we
What's
can.
going on, man?
Yeah. So I as I was listening to this, I actually just pulled up an article from 10 hours ago, and Mike Florio apparently thinks that Howard might be the odd man out coming this season, which is kind of baffling. I think Howard is
Mike
not
Florio
that
doesn't
bad
know his
and
head from
has
his
got
ass.
potential there. That could be true, but you know,
The guy getting
getting back
second
to
team
Aaron
reps.
Rodgers,
The guy getting second team reps in OTAs is the odd man out. The guy that the head coach won't stop fawning about is the odd man out. Mike Florio
What's your
needs
thought
to.
on the subject?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second now. What's your thought on the subject?
Yeah, so
Are you okay?
Mike Florio's reporting.
No, I was just going through the drive-thru. Sorry.
What did you order? What did you order? We got to know.
Oh, I'm actually door dashing right now, but at
Get that
McDonald's.
money.
Okay.
Get that money, dog.
Get your paper, man. What's your
Heck
thought
yeah.
on the Rodgers thing before we let you go?
I don't mind it. I would like to see him at least maybe win us a playoff game. That'd be a good way for him to go out. And I think Howard is probably the better future. I don't know why they picked Drew Aller, but I guess we'll see how that goes. Thanks, guys.
Are you in the middle of a
Is this
tornado?
tornado warning that's
Where are you
happening
at in
right now?
Pittsburgh? You near Robinson?
The fire alarm just started going off.
Where are you at right
get
now?
to that and take care of yourself, Brandon. No, let
He's
him
gone.
be safe.
He's gone. No, he's gone.
He's got to get out of here.
You know, Pittsburgh's my
but
second home.
My
man.
question is, Linnell, if that is the Steelers' destiny, they win a playoff game this year and win 11 games. Like, let's say they win 10 games and win a playoff game, low end. Like, that's a good year and a great way to end your career if you're Rodgers.
And then how do you build off of that? How do you build off of that?
Well, you look at the draft.
Come on,
Deeper quarterback draft.
I like to have continuity at the position, man. You have an opportunity in year one
Except
of a
when
new
Aaron
regime.
Rodgers is coming back.
You have the opportunity. You have the opportunity in year one of a new regime to establish and potentially develop and groom a guy that could be the next great Steelers quarterback. We don't know because he hasn't been given the opportunity.
But here's my thing. You keep saying, oh, we don't know. Why don't you listen to what their actions tell you, man? Like, they drafted a quarterback. They brought Aaron Rodgers back. They're waiting for Aaron. In your words, they gave him $10 million more from last year. Do you think they do that if they think Will Howard's awesome? No. So follow their actions. If they think Will Howard's a dude, they don't do any of this. They want it. They want it. They would do none of those things.
The group, the coach that was in charge of Will Howard last year is not in charge of Will Howard this year. And
Was he
they
in
are
charge of
showing
drafting
you.
a quarterback
they
in round
are
3?
showing you. Hold on. They are. I don't give a rat's ass about where Drew Aller was drafted. He's getting 14 reps in OTAs, pal. He's an afterthought. He may be on the practice squad if they feel that they can sneak him there. Will Howard is currently, if you're going off of all the evidence and data we have right now, Will Howard's one play away from being the guy for him to be given that responsibility in year 2, clearly they believe in him. I don't care about them drafting Drew Aller. They better be trying to draft a quarterback every year. They need to draft and develop one. So, yes, I don't mind them taking swings at the pinata yearly because they don't have a definitive long-term answer because they refuse to play the young guys. They'd rather piss around with Justin Fields' bum ass and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. When are we going to stop being afraid, Pittsburgh? When are we going to stop being afraid? Miss me with winning 9, 8, and 10 games and talking about making the wild card game. This league is about championships. You're the organization that's got the most titles in the damn sport, and we've now lowered our expectations to make the damn wild card game. Are you kidding? If you're a Steelers fan out there sipping for 9 and 8 and 10 and 7, you should be ashamed of yourself.
We do need to get to that post-game sound. OKC, San Antonio. You'll hear from Wemby. You'll hear from Chet Holmgren. You'll hear from SGA, and we'll react to it all next.
Aaron Rodgers says this season is his last.
Yes, this is it. Yeah.
Will Rodgers go out like John Elway and Peyton Manning did with a Lombardi trophy in his hands? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Is this blurry by puddle of mud? Hell yeah, brother. Respect the game. Oliver Popular. That's Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. As promised, let's get to this Western Conference Finals sound before we get, speaking of mud, stuck in the mud again with Linnell fighting the chat and fighting the phone callers in response to this Aaron Rodgers topic. 310-840-4910 if you want in on it. Let's hear from some of the stars involved. Well, obviously injuries come to mind first and foremost. Jalen Williams, when you hear him and hamstring injury, you get a little nervous. You had the injury to Dylan Harper as well. See if there's even a non-answer on that front, D-Day. Maybe we can get there in a second. Here was SGA on Jalen Williams' injury.
Don't know too much right now. Obviously, if you don't have him, it hurts. Still believe in this team, though. Like you said, we played a bunch of games without us. Won big games without him. I still think we can get the job done. But yeah, losing a guy like that, caliber like that, no matter how good your team is otherwise, it hurts a little bit. And also for him, it's just like a human being. He's had a tough year with injuries. Right.
I forget how Canadian he sounds. Mark Dagno says that J-Dub is going to get looked at in the morning, and we'll have an update tomorrow.
The fact that he wasn't able to come back, I would say, says a lot to me about the severity. He missed an extended period of time with this. Look, it's gonna be tough for them, but like, if we're talking injuries here tonight, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think the combination of Fox and Harper being out much more significant to me than OKC not having Jalen Williams. I think the other guys have shown here throughout this postseason, regular season, and in this series, guys can step up. Jarrett McCain, Alex Caruso, Wiggins, A.J. Mitchell, Kaysen Wallace. They're literally playing 10 to 12 dudes per night. So I'm not too worried about that injury.
Do you see anything, D-Day? I don't see anything on the Dylan Harper front yet. I would assume that Mitch Johnson was asked about it, but
Mitch Johnson said there's no update. He landed awkwardly, and then he was told that he's not coming back.
Got it. Let's get to Chet Holmgren, who was describing the battle inside with Victor Wembanyama, and here's what Chet had to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's competition at the highest level. Just like you were talking about with these two teams, it's two great teams going at it. It's no different. No matter how many games this series goes, it's going to be competition.
I didn't realize these dudes go back a long way and that they don't like each other at all, Chet and Victor.
It's great, man. It's one of the things that make this the next best rivalry, in American sports, dog. There's that underlying drama between those two. There is the fact that you're looking at two of the faces of the sport for the next decade plus in Shea versus SGA, two franchises that in their current iteration and in years past could have been viewed as some of the gold standard franchises in all the pro sports. Look at how the Spurs have been run over the past 25, 30 years. Look at how OKC has been run ever since Sam Presti's taken over. I mean, these are two franchises that no matter the sport, like they conduct themselves the right way. They draft, they develop, just well-run machines, man.
Going to the losing side of the ledger, and to that, Victor Wembanyama. No De'Aaron Fox, and then you lose, obviously, Dylan Harper, which is a big deal. Here was Wemby on how he put some of the onus on himself to help ball handlers.
Not well. We got to help our ball handlers more and take care of the ball.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I want Victor Wembanyama being the guy that's tasked with driving and kicking, right? Like, I like Stephon Castle being the primary ball handler. He's got to play better. Where I need Wemby to be better at, and really maybe, I don't even want to say it's Wemby. We kind of briefly mentioned this earlier. I think the guards need to help Wemby out in terms of rebounding. Like, that's where you look down the stretch and what Isaiah Hartenstein was doing, pulling guys by the dreads. I mean, he was playing gangster ball is how I would put it. But, like, if I was Wemby, that's more so what I'm talking about here. I think the guards need to help Wemby more than Wemby needs to help the guards.
310-840-4910. Chance is in Alabama. He wants in on Aaron Rodgers. Chance, where are you at on the Steelers' decision to bring him back, and do you have ideas for a retirement gift for Aaron?
Retirement gift. I would get Aaron Rodgers a retirement gift, an Aaron Rodgers jersey, because there's nothing more that he loves than himself. Anyways, as far as the Steelers go, I do not understand. Unless you're the 2000 Ravens or the 89 whatever Bears, they don't have that defense. They're going to keep on drafting, in the middle of the rounds. Next year's a stacked QB draft class, right? Past 5 years, they drafted 21, 20, 24, 14. Why bring back Rodgers? You know what you're going to get. The Sam Darnold comparison is ridiculous to me. They're in the NFC. Sam Darnold's way better. That team is stacked. And the AFC, they're lucky they won that division with Burrow getting hurt, with Lamar. It's insane. You're not going to win that division.
The NFC is a lot better than the AFC. The NFC is a lot better than the AFC. So
not quarterback.
The point he's trying to make, though, is that the supporting cast in Seattle is way better than the supporting cast.
And again,
in terms of defense,
the only reason I brought it up,
weapons.
I wasn't comparing the two. Again, the question was, when has a team built around veteran quarterbacks? And they did it with Geno Smith, and then they did it with Sam Darnold. That's the only reason I brought it up. I wasn't saying that the two were remotely similar at all, except for that.
So their goal is to be mediocre, right? Because that's all they're ever going to be. They're only going to ever be mediocre. They're not going to get to a Super Bowl. They're not going to win an AFC championship, especially with Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Lamar in that division.
So you define 10-7 and winning your division as mediocre. You define that as mediocre, 10-7 winning your division.
Yes.
They lucked out winning their division, and now
they did though. Josh, you can't deny the fact that so many things went in their favor.
Man.
So many things went in their favor though. Yeah,
okay.
so many things went their way.
You should have beaten the Browns the week before that, and then you should have lost the week after that. I mean, it can't be both.
If Tyler looped it and shaboinked the field goal, what would we be talking about?
If they would have beat the Browns the week before, then, again, the shoulda, woulda crap, I have nothing for it. I got nothing for the shoulda, woulda
The
crap.
mediocrity clouds their judgment, and they're totally dishonest with where they sit as a franchise. That's my problem.
All right, what's the alternative, Chance? What is the alternative is the question to you, Chance.
What they should do is draft that young or play that young quarterback. If he sucks, oh well, you'll get a high draft pick. You'll get one of those great quarterbacks. If he's great, awesome. You don't know unless you play him. Play the young guy. It's a win-win. I mean, it's just insane not to do it. And let's say if I'm a Pittsburgh fan, I'm pulling my hair out. Man, it's so cool to make the playoffs to get curb stomped. We're going to get curb stomped by Mahomes. We're going to get curb stomped by Allen.
Who's your team?
Who's your team?
Who's your team?
Who's your
I'm a
team,
Bills
Chance?
fan. I'm a Bills fan.
Okay. Was it fun when you missed the playoffs 18 straight years? We're just going to poo-poo making the playoffs? I mean, again, how old are you? Do you not remember how much it sucked to miss the playoffs every year for 2 decades?
That's not the Steelers' problem. They have no trouble making the playoffs. This is year one.
We're out of
How
time,
many years in a
Chance.
row have
Thank
they?
you. Thank you, Chance. Bye, Chance. Out of time. I don't understand this. Again, I rooted for a team. My favorite team's the Carolina Hurricanes. I love them. They missed the playoffs 9 straight years. And then you have the Johnny-come-latelys who are complaining about losing in the conference finals for a 3rd time. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't want to go back to losing every year. I don't want to go back to that. Making the playoffs is more fun than not making the playoffs. Being good and winning more than you lose, the idea that it's mediocre to win, go 10-7 and win your division is crazy to me. It's crazy.
Why not give yourself the opportunity to have a higher ceiling down the road? 2026 is not a make or break year for the Steelers.
If you had a better option than Will Howard, I'd be on board. But I'm not on board with Will Howard. I didn't love him in college, and I don't love him with the Steelers. I'm not a believer.
He was a dog
You
his
seem to
last
be.
year.
I'm
His
not.
last year at K-State, and then his 1 year at Ohio State, he played hella good football.
Up next, why the retirement tour for Aaron Rodgers is good for one entity and maybe not so good for another. Keep it here on Westwood One Sports Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
That's Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. So many of you want in on Aaron Rodgers being back. A retirement tour. We don't really see retirement tours in the NFL. 310-840-4910 if you want in. Tell us what your retirement gift for Aaron might be, because Linnell, Rodgers' retirement tour, it's excellent news for the NFL. This might be the biggest storyline heading into the season. The story, the sport's driven off quarterbacks, not really coaches so much. So with respect to Mike Vrabel and John Harbaugh debuting in New York, Rodgers is one of the greatest of all time. Rodgers also happens to be one of the more polarizing athletes in the sport. So knowing it's his last time playing fill in the blank here, playing in fill the blank there, that's something that's going to add intrigue. Here was Rodgers earlier today. This was the clip that has stirred the sports world.
Aaron, did you believe that this could be your last year? Do you even think of that right now?
Yes.
As in your last year?
This is it, yeah.
So that's Aaron today. Excellent news for the NFL, but it might not be great news for the Steelers, because every time you play a road game, you're going to get asked about it. Every time, your entire season now is going to be attached to Rodgers in real time, not in hindsight. How does a team deal with that?
Once again, they're more infatuated with an Aaron Rodgers retirement tour than potentially figuring out what you have with Will Howard. I digress, though. It is a major distraction. I 110%. I don't. First of all, have we ever seen a retirement tour in this league before? And then even listening to the guy, did he sound definitive in what he said? Did he sound?
I thought so.
Like he was concrete in what he said. He kind of brushed by it pretty quickly. If you were really intending on this being your last year, saying you would follow up with, I've loved the time that I've had in the National Football League, but yeah, this is, no matter what happens, probably going to be, my last final year. I've enjoyed it. I appreciate the Steelers giving me the opportunity to come back for my final season. That sounds like the answer of a guy that's really locked in to retiring. Aaron Rodgers is the most me guy in the world.
It sounded like Aaron Rodgers.
But hold on, I also give him the benefit of the doubt with that part. He could change his mind. Like, I would have no problem if it went well for them this year. They decided, you know what? If Aaron decided, hey, I want to play another year, I feel like I can still give it a go. I have no problem with that.
I would.
I don't.
I would sit and say that, wait a minute, you're going to get all these retirement gifts and you're going to get glossed and you're going to do all these things and you invited all of that. He would get ripped, and rightfully so, the same way that Coach K would have been ripped if he decided
But
to
Josh,
come back
why
after
would he
making
get
the
ripped?
Final
You're
Fours
the one
last
that's
year.
why
and
would
the
he get
same
ripped?
one that,
Why would he get ripped?
'cause
You're
he
the one that's
lied.
talking about a retirement tour.
He would
Not
be,
him.
no, Aaron Rodgers said, this is it. And there was a follow-up, and he said, this is it. Like, that's Aaron Rodgers.
But he said, this is it, but he didn't. I think we're adding the part of the retirement tour.
Nope. I think he said, so this is your last season was the question. We can listen to it one more time.
A tour, a retirement tour, and it being you're talking about gifts and things of that nature.
The tape.
Aaron, do you believe that this could be your last year? Or do you even think of that right now?
Yes.
As in your last year?
This is it, yeah.
This is it.
So unless you
There's
have
no
other
way to
audio,
interpret that.
unless you have other audio coming out of your ass, he never mentioned retirement tour there. He just said this is it.
The question was, is this your last year? Was the follow-up, yes, this is it. That can't be more clear.
I don't see.
This is
I don't
season.
think you have the right to be angry with him if he decides to change his mind.
I'd say
at
he
season's
lied.
end. He never said
I'd say he
anything about
lied.
I would say that he changed his mind. What if his body feels good? What if the significant
Then
other
don't
that he's
say
dealing
this is
with-
it.
He probably feels that way right now. He's a human.
I
He's
know.
entitled to have
That-
his emotions change.
I'm saying then you told an untruth. You lied. I don't think Aaron
I
Rodgers
think a
is
lie-
telling an untruth. I think he told the truth.
I think a lie is intentionally misleading somebody. I don't think him coming back would be intentionally trying to. I don't think he was intentionally trying to sway anybody today because he didn't give much
let's go.
credence to the answer.
This okay. I don't care to talk about whether or not Aaron Rodgers is a liar or not. Let's go to Caleb in Pittsburgh. 310-840-4910. Caleb, you're on Westwood One Sports Night. Do you have any ideas for an Aaron Rodgers? What might make for a good retirement gift?
Oh, the best retirement gift might be a Lombardi trophy, but I might be pushing it with that one.
Might be.
I think you might be. I think a ceiling. I said the ceiling just because how wide open the AFC is. You can win a couple playoff games, get to the AFC Championship, but can't. That's the best, absolute pristine situation. Where
You know
are
what
you
they
at?
say,
on how
guys,
this is
any
gonna
given
go?
Sunday. Well, I'm going to give you a couple things I'd like to say. I'm going to tell you why I think they brought him back, and it's because of contracts. We've got too many big contracts on the roster to just let this year go to waste and leave it up to chance with Will Howard or Drew Howard. There's just too much money on the line. It'd be like burning money in the streets of Pittsburgh if we didn't bring in a veteran guy.
Well, you just burned $10 million in the streets of Pittsburgh by giving him a $10 million pay raise.
Well, they had that.
That's a lot. That's a lot less than we have on the line for T.J. Watt, though, with a $40 million contract. I wanted us to offload him before we gave him such a large contract, and we saw a decrease in his play. But hindsight's 20/20. We've just got too much money on the line to just not bring in a veteran guy. Any other veteran guy would have been better. Somebody who's got a little bit more mobility than Aaron Rodgers. But he's comfortable in the city. He's comfortable with our system, especially with Mike McCarthy coming back. Coming to Pittsburgh, coming back home. There's just too much money on the line, guys. We couldn't bring in a veteran guy. And
I think it's a good.
If his play decreases, and it probably will, since he's 43, then we can throw in the rookies. But if it was time to strip it down,
You
to the
got to
bones
watch
and
him
see what
fail
those-
first, though. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
before you play the
absolutely.
rookies. I look at it the other way. I look at it the other way. If it was my decision, clearly Will Howard has shown a lot here through the spring because they're giving the kids second-team reps. If you go throughout training camp and you still think that this battle is close, start Will Howard to start the season. If you
Who
win
would you
games
give
with
those
him,
reps to? Mason Rudolph?
I Mason will not be on the team by the end of the season.
Will Howard gets the second team reps. I have to hear this.
Yeah, because it's facts.
Who did you want those reps to go to?
he's the backup is my point. If you're comfortable with him being a play away from being your guy, you should be comfortable starting him.
I disagree.
I
with
completely
that
disagree.
so strongly. I can't even begin to tell you how many teams in the NFL have backups that they know they are completely and utterly effed if their starting quarterback gets hurt.
To me,
if you think
the
prior
gap
to
between
do you
Will
think the
Howard
Rams do you
and
think the
Aaron
Rams are
Rodgers
thinking
is
we
not
need Ty
significant.
Simpson out there because do you think they love Stetson Bennett so much?
The gap between Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard, I don't think is large. I don't. Who has
like Aaron
more
Rodgers.
tools? It's not that I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's 43, Josh.
I know you don't like 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Over Will Howard, no.
Okay, I do. I don't think
For
Will
the
Howard's good.
circumstances that they're in as a franchise, where things currently sit, you need to find a long-term answer at quarterback. Why not give the kid an opportunity? Clearly,
Because you're good. Because you're good. Why would you choose to be bad when you're good?
How do you know that you're going to be bad, Josh?
Why would you risk being bad when you just won the AFC North with this quarterback?
Dude, you're risking. You won the AFC North in a year in which Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson were on the shelf. Like, are you kidding? Like, if that's how they really view themselves internally, I don't know. My whole thing is like, you're saying it's because they're good. It's because they're good.
Yes.
What if Will Howard, because of his mobility, because of his ability to push the ball down the field, what if he's able to give you more than Aaron Rodgers is going to?
And what if Linnell Willingham could actually blow past James Harden, as you were talking about last night? And what if Linnell Willingham could dunk? I'd love to live in that world. I don't think we do.
Clearly, those things are less realistic than Will Howard being a guy. Are you kidding?
I disagree. I thought that actually was more realistic.
So what did you feel about his final year at Ohio State? How would you chalk that up? Because the guy, the two games against Oregon, the two games against you can talk about the weapons that he has all you want.
He lost one of those games against Oregon.
He played his ass off in both of them, though.
And also didn't know time and situation and allowed for the clock to run out because he didn't slide early enough.
Finished
We're
with
going
a
to use
national,
that as a great example.
It finished with a national championship, Josh. My point is, against the stiffest competition in the country, he played his
You
tail
brought up
off.
one of the games he wasn't amazing in.
Go watch. He wasn't amazing against Oregon in both of those games?
No. The first one, he was getting ripped right after the fact because, again, he slid and didn't allow his team to
the
kick
kid
a
had
field goal.
7 incompletions and threw for 326 yards and averaged 10 yards of completion. And you're going to try and sit here and tell me that he didn't play well?
He cost his team the game at the end. Yeah.
Against Oregon?
He cost his team the game at the end.
We agree to disagree. We should get back to the.
I mean, he did.
You're a Will
at the end of that
Howard
game.
hater. I don't know what Will Howard did to you, my friend.
I
don't know
it's
what
amazing.
Will Howard
I'll
did
put it
to
on my
you.
bio. Fine. I'm fine. Will Howard hater. Put it there. He's a 5th-round pick. I mean, what are we talking about Will Howard this much for? It's blowing my mind, frankly. It is. Let's go to Kyle, who's in Pittsburgh. I value the opinion of people who have boots on the ground, just like I value Linnell's opinion, and I value all you guys' opinion. I could disagree with it wholeheartedly, but that's the fun of it. Let's go to Kyle. Kyle, where are you at?
What's up, guys? I'm on the road right now. What's up? What's going on?
Kyle, help me out,
brother.
Look, so I think it all started back when they missed on Kenny Pickett, man. So you got to think, when they never suck, right? So we're always 10, 9 wins. We drafted the 20s. We drafted the low part of the draft. You're not going to get studs down there. So I think the Rooneys think they have a decent team. You got Watt, you got Hayward. They don't want to lose. Bringing Rodgers back gives them the best chance to win. Is it the right move? Probably not. I think you should have rolled with Will Howard. And guess what? The best bet is he's good. Great. Now you got him on a rookie deal. Or he's bad. Guess what? You're going to draft in the top 10, and then you take your quarterback.
Again, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the sentiment. I
I don't
have
even think
no
the worst
idea.
case scenario. I don't know. I don't see. I think the supporting cast in Pittsburgh is too good for them, even with Will Howard to be starting. It's too good for them to finish in picking top 10.
Where is this Will Howard love coming from? I don't understand it.
Dog.
He went in the 5th round. D-Day,
Sure.
help me out a little bit as well. Like, just so I have, like, some neutral perspective here in the middle of this. Like, have you heard anybody talking about Will Howard the way that Linnell's talking about Will Howard? I feel like Mugatu and Zoolander. I feel
Did you
like
hear
I'm
Mike
taking crazy
McCarthy?
pills.
Don't we have Mike McCarthy talking about it in the same way?
Well, what's he going to say? I mean, come on.
Wait, you don't
I don't
trust
know.
the coach? I think you're
I'm
both
saying
wrong,
words
which is
don't matter
hilarious.
as much as actions. If they loved
Wait, hold on,
him,
hold
they
on.
drafted.
What did that?
I think you're both
Yeah,
wrong.
what'd you
Like the
think?
Will Howard love is astounding, but also hitching your wagon to a 42-year-old quarterback like he's going to be healthy the entire year, and you're just living in that reality that because last year the Ravens were without a quarterback and the Bengals were without a quarterback, that everything's going to be the same in 2026 is equally as asinine as thinking that Will Howard's going to come in and be awesome.
Though. Those are the two options. What's the third?
They
option?
weren't. They could have been aggressive
had
and went
other
out and gotten
options.
somebody else. Like they could have got Kyler Murray. That
You're,
would've been a
you're
better
living in
option.
the world where those are the only two options because free agency is already in the past, because the draft is already in the past. They could have, if they wanted to, gone and
Tua
gotten
would have been a
another
better option. I would have rather gone with Tua Tagovailoa
way.
than Aaron Rodgers,
I
though.
mean,
Are you kidding?
Do we need to visit the stats of how Tua plays when it's cold? Like awful, terrible, every
You
single
know what?
time.
Maybe
go to
Tua.
Pittsburgh.
Maybe Tua in Pittsburgh was a little bit off
And that's
the
how I
deep
feel
end.
about Kyler Murray, too.
Hold on, though, Josh. I'm going to double click on something we talked about in the break. We were coming back from break, and you sat up here and tried to tell Pittsburgh Steelers fans, 310-840-4910. You would much rather have Geno Smith, correct? You tried to tell me that, that Aaron Rodgers is a better option than Geno Smith in 2026?
Yes.
Are you drunk? Did you watch what Geno Smith did for 3 seasons in Seattle? If you're going to judge Geno off of his 1 year in
that's
Vegas,
ancient history.
it was one. Come on, Josh. He played 1 year with Vegas, 1 season.
Also, there's a relationship there between Rodgers and McCarthy. McCarthy's your coach.
I don't give it. What is up with you? What is the relationship between Pete Carroll and Geno Smith? How did that help Geno? How did that
he knows
relationship
the
help those
offense.
two guys out?
He knows the offense.
Geno knew the offense last year. Supporting cast sucked.
Okay.
Well,
I don't think the supporting cast sucks in
I'm
Pittsburgh.
saying the relationship
I think
has
knowing the
no.
offense matters.
The relationship should have no bearing. If you love each other, go have a damn steak out in Robinson, PA. Go to
Didn't
the mall.
they famously not like each other? Wasn't that exactly why Mike McCarthy got fired, because they didn't like each other?
I thought that was the case, but apparently not.
I don't know if Aaron was off the ayahuasca at that point or not.
We know
His
about
third
Aaron
eye may be
Rodgers. He's
open.
a very well-known relationship builder, relationship mender, Aaron Rodgers.
But I feel like his
Family
third eye is
Aaron
open now, so maybe he looks at Mike McCarthy differently. His calcium level.
310-840-4910. We could do one more. Let's go to Bruce, who's in L.A. Bruce, you're on Westwood One Sports Night. Bruce, go right ahead.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I think this is one of your best shows, man. It's just really back and forth. It's entertaining. It's funny, so I've really enjoyed it. Anyway, I agree with 100% of what Linnell has said regarding a washed-up, untalented has-been Aaron Rodgers. I agree 100%, and how stupid the Steelers are to have played footsie with them the last 2 years. But Josh, I got something quick for you specifically. You've called yourself a wordsmith from time to time on the air, and last week several times you referred to the Western Conference Finals as the pseudo NBA Finals. If you look up pseudo in the dictionary, as I hope you will, you'll see that pseudo means false, fake, or sham. So the pseudo finals are the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals will be the pseudo finals because they are false, fake, and sham. And the Western Conference Final is actually the Western Conference Final is actually the real. Is actually the real or the de facto NBA
Shout out
Finals.
to Bruce, dog.
That's the word you wanted, de facto.
Just give that. Can we give him a trophy?
That's a round
Thank
of
you,
applause
Bruce.
for Bruce.
No, I appreciate it. Because again, you're right.
No,
I
he
do
got us
love
all
words,
smarter just
and
now.
that does track. I have no notes. I've been exposed. I'm a fraud.
Well, that was just you trying to self-deprecate. I don't know why, but
I apologize to my family. I apologize to my wife.
You need to be apologizing to
most
Pittsburgh
my-
Steelers fans.
I need to apologize most to my 18-month-old son, who I hope to teach words to one day. He has 25 in his vocabulary right now, and one of them actually is pseudo. And him using that word incorrectly is of great embarrassment to my family. So I actually do appreciate that, though, sincerely, from Bruce. That's a great note. 310-840-4910.
You okay now?
There are.
You all right?
No, great shame. I want to get a samurai sword and just bury it into my gut because of that. Words.
There are people
Using
you
the
can call
wrong
for
words.
that, Josh.
Huh?
So there are people you can call for that, Josh.
There are.
I know that crushed you. I do. That's what I'm playing on at the moment because that's fascinating. Because I've been using the word wrong my whole damn life too. Then Because I could have
Oh
sworn.
no, I just think it wasn't used completely wrong. It was
No,
the
it
wrong
was. Bruce
series
just
that
told
I
you.
referred to. No, I referred to the wrong series. Like I had the right
In turn,
idea.
meaning
I
you used it wrong.
Bruce meant well. Like again,
Bruce
I have
meant
no
to
problem
dunk
with the note.
He tried to teabag.
No, and he did deservedly. There are two updates regarding star point guards in the NBA that you might have missed today that we'll get to in addition to your calls next on Westwood One Sports Night.
The Patriots want revenge. The Broncos want payback. The Bills want retribution. It's all on the 2026 NFL schedule. And vengeance has never looked better. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
If this is in fact it for Aaron Rodgers, Linnell, and Aaron is coming on the show at some point on Westwood One Sports Night, and you want to give him a retirement gift, where are you going to shop? What type of things are you looking for? Like, what would be your retirement gift for Aaron if this is in fact it for him?
I've been thinking about this all day. And, like, the best thing I could think to probably give him, because I know the Pittsburgh area pretty well, I would get him a coupon for Massage Envy out at Robinson Town Place, the Robinson Town Place Shopping Center, about 30, 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. I would have him go there. I would get him a full-body massage. I wouldn't give him the full-body massage. And I would hope that the massage had the reverse impact that it had on Deshaun Watson, to where instead of the massages zapping away all of his talents, they, like, make him a better quarterback. That's what I would give him.
I hear Rodgers is interested in music, so maybe like a cool, like, guitar of some sorts.
Somebody get him some wireless headphones.
Oh, that could work too.
I hate
maybe
his bit of wired headphones.
Oh, you don't like when he has
I
the
can't
wire?
stand it. It's 2026,
I love it.
Josh. It's not like he's on the radio.
We sit here. We both have these massive cans.
I know, right?
We have wired.
I'm sitting here ragging on.
Maybe some
You're one of us.
psychedelics. Something. Figure that one out.
Where would you buy the psychedelics from?
Maybe some.
Please enlighten us.
Immunizations of some sorts can hook him up.
No. Where are you buying shrooms from for Aaron Rodgers?
Wait, is that what? No, you can go to Bethany. It's about an hour away. We're the shroom capital of West Virginia.
There you go.
We got shrooms out in Bethany.
partying.
We got shrooms
Now we're
out in
partying.
Bethany. Chambers General Store was selling shirts. They've been there since the 1800s, Chambers, out in Bethany. They literally were selling shirts on move-in day, announcing to the parents that were dropping their 17 and 18-year-old kids off for the first time. They were giving out shirts that announced that they were now dropping their children off to the shroom capital of West Virginia, one Bethany.
310-840-4910. Tony's in Montreal. Tony, any ideas of what to give Rodgers for a retirement gift?
Absolutely. It didn't take me all day, Linnell. It took me about 5 seconds. I'll get him a large Seuss and a very large narcissistic mirror so that he can continue his daily whining and his love of himself, because that's one athlete that's way past his stale date, should have retired. And I cannot believe that the great Pittsburgh franchise was waiting on this guy with bated breath. That's a sad state of affairs, that you have to wait on a guy like that was playing Pittsburgh, who failed in New York, failed in Green Bay, got turfed. Well, didn't fail in Green Bay, but got turfed, and now is following his mentor, his little mentor. He's going to hook up and he's going to have a great season. Isn't it time for him to retire, man? It's just unbelievable. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him. I just want to say one thing, Josh, because I know you're a Hurricanes guy.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew it was
And
coming.
you know, because I want to see you and Linnell up in Montreal, where all the famous women and all the good-looking ladies will treat you well. Come on,
Why
I
do
know
you
you're
all
a married
think that I'm
man,
that
but you
easy?
could
Why,
look.
why do you all think that I'm
could-
that easy? Anytime you guys try to invite me somewhere, you tell me that
I'm
there's
also
attractive
married.
women there. Like, that's the deal breaker for me. The guy in Detroit that
listen.
wants us to come to Detroit, Tony in Montreal, I am not easy.
Hey, listen, I just want to see you guys up in Montreal to see really because Josh, you said you wanted to come up here and see a
I
game.
always
think
have a buddy of mine who did national games for Turner and for others, John Forsland. He told me that the best place to watch a hockey game is in Montreal. I've always wanted to go. It won't be during this series, and hopefully there won't be a Stanley Cup final series for Montreal because the Canes advance. If
Well, I'll tell
Montreal
you
wins
one thing.
tomorrow, Tony, don't even bother calling the show tomorrow night.
Listen. I don't even want to play you the crazy stuff that I said on radio and TSN, which is the ESPN network affiliate here in Montreal. But just to let you know, there was a bunch of guys from ESPN staying at the hotel where there was a bar. I go down and watch the games, and they were pulling for Montreal because they didn't want to go back to Saberland. And I always said that the Montreal Canadiens had the Sabres, had the Buffalo by the Sabres. But you know what? That was a good series. And I'll tell you this, Josh. It's not going to be 4-0. You're not going to win 4-0. It's going to go.
So much from
Where can I
Montreal.
subscribe to your
I've heard
podcast?
enough. I was about to say, no, we've
Where can
heard
I-
enough.
Where can I subscribe
You know,
to Josh?
we
and
are
Tony?
at odds, me and Tony, for the next couple of weeks with the Montreal Canadiens facing the Hurricanes.
Is that on all
But
platforms?
as promised, we need to get to a couple of point guard notes that you might have missed today. Masai Ujiri is the guy running things in Dallas, and he's already having his imprint because Jason Kidd's no longer the coach there. And now there's some questions about rebuilding and, okay, what does that mean for the future of some veterans? Kyrie Irving's name came up, and this is what Masai Ujiri had to say about Kyrie Irving's future in Dallas.
Obviously, Cooper sort of tops the list of what you're building around, but it seemed from our point of view that Jason and Kyrie were a good fit. And I just wonder, from your point of view, how important is Kyrie in this process in terms of, a coach that might help him, be a good fit for him, those kinds of things?
Kevin Durant once told me that there's only one Kyrie walking around in the world. Yeah, I think we have to figure out a way, how Kyrie fits with our program. And I've had those
There you go.
conversations with Kyrie.
That's Masai Ujiri. There's only one Kyrie Irving. They want him to be part of the fold, which tells me that Dallas thinks that they can get this thing up and running really quickly, despite the fact that they were a team gunning for lottery odds this year and tanking with Cooper Flagg and unloading Anthony Davis. That's fascinating that he's talking about we need Kyrie Irving being part of the fold.
Once again, watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. It's going to be fascinating to see, how things ultimately play out. The front office of the Dallas Mavericks, what they need to be worried about is next month in the draft, where they've got the 9th pick and the 30th overall pick. The reason Masai Ujiri was such a sought-after guy for Dallas is because of his drafting track record. He brought in Mike Schmitz, who used to lead, ESPN's draft coverage. So he's a guy that's very familiar with the AAU circuit and scouting and recruiting. So, they got to hit on their draft picks. That's the big thing here for Dallas. But I am interested to see, is there going to be a star that they have the ability to pry away from somebody? Do they feel the need, to bring in a third option? I was going to say a pseudo third option, but I stopped myself. Do they feel the need to bring in a third guy? Because I like Kyrie and Coop, but Kyrie's also 32, 33 years old. So, what's best for business here if you're the Dallas Mavericks?
You were telling me Brian Windhorst was talking about James Harden and said what?
So this was fascinating. He was on a rival station and said that
rivals
James Harden, well, has got to be able to compete if to be a rival. But he
on
said
a
that
local sports talk station.
Yeah, he said that James Harden basically had a no trade clause with the Clippers, and whatever team he went to, he was basically choosing his destination with the intent of signing an extension there at the end of the season. And Brian Windhorst has reported that no matter how this postseason goes, the Cavaliers are signing James Harden to an extension. So I don't know what he's done to deserve that type of, security from Cleveland. I think it's head scratching, but maybe it's like a sign and trade or something. Like I don't know, because based off of what you've seen from him this postseason, I don't know why Cleveland would be inclined to bring him back.
Unless you just look at results and you get to the conference finals in your Cleveland.
Are you guaranteed to get back there next year with this group running it back? But here's the other thing too. If they're able to add Giannis or LeBron, well, I know that's like if a meteor drops out of the sky.
Willingham was an All-NBA basketball player.
He wouldn't be hosting here today. But no. If that is to happen, if they're able to land a big fish, and it surely feels like Evan Mobley is going to be a trade chip coming up this offseason, if they're able to move off of Evan Mobley to get Giannis, and LeBron comes to team up with him, then maybe bringing James Harden back and having him be the point guard for that group. Maybe that's the scenario. But I just don't see it making sense in any scenario, really, to bring him back.
Let's go to Paul, who's in California, 310-840-4910. He says he has not one but two potential Aaron Rodgers gift ideas for his pending retirement. Paul, what are those gift ideas?
Everyone, the first gift would be an AARP one-year membership for him traveler leisures, and the second gift would be a case of prune juice.
Why prune juice?
Why prune juice?
Because sometimes he's full of it.
Okay. Thank you for the call. Maybe there's
prune
something
juice.
I'm missing.
What about prune juice? Or the
Yeah.
gifts?
Prune juice
It helps
makes
you-
you take a dump.
Yeah. It unclogs you, yeah.
Oh, got
Shout out
it.
to my grandma Frances. She used to have me drinking prune juice and eating prunes.
Is it true what they say?
Yeah. I used to have, well, that's probably TMI for the show, but when
Yeah,
I
we
was
don't
like
need more on that.
when I
Just
was
a
like
yes would
an
do.
adolescent, I used to sometimes have problems going potty, and prunes would do the trick.
You know what else would do the trick? Winners, bets. Because I have a few to hand out, and one bet I have, Linnell, is going to surprise you.
You
Gonna
surprising
surprise you a
me?
great deal. Mm-hmm. Plus, weird but true might be especially weird tonight, next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Aaron Rodgers says this season is his last.
Yes, this is it. Yeah.
Will Rodgers go out like John Elway and Peyton Manning did with a Lombardi trophy in his hands? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Linnell, going to take one more submission this segment on potential retirement gift ideas for Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers. Let's go to James, who's in Pittsburgh. So you know the lay of the land. You should know what Aaron's interested in. Is there anything that you would go out of your way to give Aaron?
I think an MVP trophy, eh?
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if they just hand those out, though.
So here's the scoop. Howard was a sixth rounder, not a fifth. So you're talking.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
185 overall. So, I mean, Brady pulled it off, whatever round. And the only reason he's getting some reps because Rudolph is going to be the backup. So you got Aaron, you got Rudolph. McCarthy's giving Howard a courtesy because he's been on the squad. And then you've got Aller. But the reality is, if you're down to Howard or Aller, the team's going nowhere, correct?
I agree.
And where are you going with Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, they won the division last year.
You guys are so I don't know, whatever they're putting in the potatoes and the pierogies nowadays, you guys have lost it down there in Pittsburgh.
Thank you for the call, James. I appreciate it.
I don't know why do Steeler fans keep bringing up last year?
I keep bringing it up. I'm not a Steeler fan.
But why?
I just told you. They won
was so
10 games. They won the division, and Rodgers was fine.
Do you realize how much time Lamar Jackson missed? They should have won the division by a landslide. And they almost and it came down to a Week 18 game. They should be like the Steelers. Come on, dog. I think the Steelers may finish last in this division this year.
Lamar missed 4 games.
And was hurt in a bevy of others. And was not playing to his come on. It was pulled in 2 or 3 others.
All right. I think it's fine to bring Aaron Rodgers back. I got no problem with it. You do? That's okay. I want to see how shocked you'll be by one of the bets I'm handing out right now in today's Grams Gambling.
Sitting back, count money all day, you know. It's time for Graham's Gambling. Let's make some money.
Montreal Canadiens money line. I'm betting against my team tomorrow night.
Because you're being realistic?
The Carolina Hurricanes are the first team in 41 years to win 8 straight games to open the playoffs. They are at home. That building's going to be insane. Montreal, I think, has the better goaltending. I think the 12-day layoff, Linnell, 12 days!
That's insane.
Is going to be impactful. And I think Montreal, with the value of plus 162 odds, plus 162 to win the game, going to take Montreal against my own team Thursday night. Going to do it. Now, let me know what you think about this basketball bet. Knicks, Game 2, facing Cleveland. Knicks, first half, minus 3.5 points.
Slam dunk.
Thank you.
Slam dunk.
I think the Knicks are going to jump all over Cleveland after the way they started the last game, and 3.5 points isn't nearly enough. I think they're going to be up by double digits at halftime, or at least close to it.
Yeah, I think the series is over. Like we said it last night. Like their collapse, everything that you saw in the collapse, I expect to see from the opening tip-off. I think it just took the Knicks a couple of quarters to get their feet wet after being off for 9 days. So I think it's over.
Knicks minus
I agree.
3.5. Okay, what do we have in weird but true to put a bow on this hour?
So I don't know if we don't have the audio for this, correct?
I don't know.
A Michigan tenant called his landlord over to do some work at his home. The landlord was then caught on the tenant's camera having sex inside the home instead. And
There's audio with this?
There is. It's the news report. But it is one of the crazier things I've ever heard. And I'm thinking, I live in an apartment.
I was imagining something that sounds like that as your audio that might be accompanying this video or accompanying this segment. Or a Ricky.
That's awkward. You just totally took me off kilter there. I'm rarely
You were telling a story. What happened?
Yeah, that's. I was saying how I have a property manager, not a landlord, because I live in an apartment, not a home that I'm renting. The other day, I had people in here doing work on my apartment, and I didn't realize it. And full transparency, I have the luxury of living by myself in this amazing one-bedroom apartment, and I like to have the temperature set at about 68 degrees, and I like to sleep. I like to sleep in my birthday suit. And when I decided to go cut the thermostat off, and there are two men in my apartment, I was taken aback. So it's not me catching my property manager banging in my apartment, but I definitely did not realize there were two men in my apartment as I was walking around naked.
Did you put clothes on?
When I heard the men out there, yeah. What do you? I mean, you know what? I don't know what you've been trying to do to me the last 90 seconds, but you need to relax.
Because you had a Diddy party.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Just saying, it's your house. You walk in, you're in my domain, man. Sorry.
I also don't want to offend anybody.
You can't get there. You can't get beat up naked.
Yeah,
like that's one of those things that cannot happen. So if you walk out naked and get jumped, dude,
tough.
Can't have that.
Ironically enough, they were actually trying to fix my thermostat, which I was having issues.
I need someone to fix my thermostat because tonight we learned we had some issues with the AC.
Yeah, my water's leaking.
Is that right?
Sounded like I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant because I'm a man. My water heater was leaking into the unit below, so that's why they forced entry into my apartment while I was in my birthday suit. Is what I'm
got
telling
it.
you.
Yeah. See, I would have called someone about the AC tonight, but then it would have been deemed an emergency call if I called at the hour that I was looking to call at. So
how does that work? Isn't that like one of the downsides to like having a house? Is like you don't have someone just on call.
And I have to fix the problem.
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
own this establishment. I own this place.
That's tough.
Oh no, it's the pros outweigh the cons.
I'm just saying, no, of course. I'm just saying, yeah, that part is tough. That would suck, because I don't know anything about anything and fixing anything. So I would be screwed.
You learn some things from time to time through experience. You become a well-rounded individual.
This cramping that I'm having going on in this,
But it is interesting. An interesting question you bring up: your level of comfort walking around nude in your own house or your home, because my wife, she'll give me like grief if I'm like in my underwear, or if I was, God forbid, naked walking around in my house. She's like, we have neighbors. I'm like, if they're peeking, that's on them. I don't worry about it. This is my house.
Don't do it, Linnell.
Like, if I'm walking around my house and I'm letting it breathe, then I'm telling you,
do it.
It's on you if you look in.
No,
I'm sorry. What's wrong, Linnell? Why are you talking to yourself?
Do it. Let the intrusive thoughts win.
I mean, I don't blame your wife for telling you to put some damn clothes on. Like that. You know what? I don't. I understand where she's coming from.
You don't understand where I'm coming from?
No, I understand where she's coming from. I do.
But you don't understand where I'm coming from, though. Where I'm like, I'm sorry, sometimes I might need to like walk across the hallway to the laundry room and
get your drawers, right?
You
might have to.
Yeah, it's like, or
this is
it's late at night and I'm going to get myself some chips and some salsa.
Some chip? Yeah, you love chips. Your chips and salsa late night bit is amazing.
I'm not going to put on pants for that. Or I guess that's late at night. But maybe, during the day.
Can I ask you a question?
This is my house.
Can I ask you a question?
That for?
I'm going to admit that like this question is totally infringing on your privacy. And if you don't want to answer, go ahead.
I'm
or
an
don't.
Open booklet now. Please.
So you don't sleep naked?
No.
Am I the only one that like sleeps? And mind you,
do you sleep naked?
Leave this between you two.
What? We're all in this together.
I'll be real. I went down this rabbit hole, and I didn't mean to. I was just thinking about like how I live, man.
There's nothing wrong with that question.
Now, obviously,
Some
if I'm
people
having
sleep
like a
naked, some don't.
Now, if I'm having like a female sleepover for the first time, I'm not.
I'm more
sleeping
concerned
naked.
as
Like,
to why everyone thinks seeing you naked is a punishment.
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
That's what
I don't
I'm
view it that
saying.
way. You know, I'm like Ashley Schaefer in Eastbound and Down. Let the boy watch. You know that one?
No, but that's hilarious. I'm sorry.
Did at least D-Day? Did that pop D-Day? Does he? You sound
No,
like
that
you
when
might watch
you made a
Eastbound and Down.
movie reference to two people that don't watch movies.
Yeah, but like
No,
whatever
that's
movie
not
that
a
is,
movie.
I should
That's a
go watch
TV
it.
show. It's Kenny Powers. It's Danny
The
McBride.
only Powers I'm familiar with is Austin, and I barely know him. Barely
Can I
know
get a
him.
hell yeah? That's the
Oh,
bottom line.
hell yeah! Oh, I've been
What?
No, it's what?
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 B-Dot. Man, this
What?
last hour is going to be reckless if
What?
this last segment's any indicator.
What?
He'll join us later.
What?
Prior to getting him, though,
What?
react to
What?
OKC.
What? What? What?
Damn it, Tom.
What?
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Last hour of the show. B-Dot is going to join us in 20 minutes. So if you thought there was any chance we were going to put the train back on the tracks, B-Dot joining us, that's probably not going to happen. He's the most entertaining guest in sports talk. If you don't believe us, make sure you're tuned in when he drops by in a bit. That's Linnell Willingham. My name's Josh Graham. The two biggest stories in sports today. Oklahoma City knotting up its series with San Antonio, 1 game apiece. That's a 122-113 final at Oklahoma City. Few injuries in the game, no updates to bring to you on Jalen Williams and Dylan Harper, both exiting the game with hamstring concerns, it seems. Seems a little bit more severe with Jalen Williams when he's outside the locker room and not returning back, and he already has the rap, and he's had the issues in the regular season with it. And the other story is Aaron Rodgers signing a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Retirement tour, though. That's the part that stole most of the headlines. Him saying, yep, this is going to be the last season. But believe it or not, Linnell, that might not be the craziest thing, the most surprising thing, probably a better way to put it, that Aaron Rodgers said during this 15-minute availability. Here he was, for example, admitting pretty much that he had a coaching suggestion to management after last season ended.
I mean, I had a conversation with Omar at the end of last year, and I encouraged him for an outside perspective to interview Mike. Not thinking that he even would, honestly, just because the way the league goes and the trend, it's kind of like whoever worked with Sean, Kyle, or one of those guys, Matt now, gets a lot of looks, and multiple guys in those trees have. But then when it became more serious, I was thinking, wow, that'd be a really interesting thought to come back and play with Mike.
This is why people don't like his ass. This is that comments like that is why people don't like him, and I'd be trying to defend him. Why did he take a shot? Why did he have to take a shot at the McVay Shanahan tree for what? What was the reason?
I mean, he's petty. That's what he is.
And those coaches are getting opportunities because they're coming and they have success too. Like the track record's damn good for the damn Shanahan tree, ain't it?
Yeah.
So why is he surprised that they're getting jobs? I'm confused.
Not for Kyle Shanahan, but for everybody else. Sure.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
By the way, if you have retirement gift ideas, last call for those at 310-840-4910. The part where he suggested that, he made the suggestion that they should hire Mike McCarthy, and they ended up hiring Mike.
Who asked?
Only can make you wonder, did the Steelers, part of their calculus in hiring Mike McCarthy, was part of it, this gives us a better chance of bringing Aaron Rodgers back?
If that was a part of their process, everybody in that front office should be canned. If Art Rooney is that damn senile and that damn asleep at the wheel, then the Steelers are more screwed than people realize. I just don't. I hope that's not the case. We don't have any concrete evidence that that's the case. We're speculating, clearly. But damn it, 2 plus 2.
Other than Aaron Rodgers making the suggestion.
Right, and that opened up the door.
But that is something. Yeah.
Yes, our speculation is warranted for 110%. If that is the case, I just don't know. I don't know what that relationship has to do with anything. And the last time I checked, they severely underachieved together. So winning one Super Bowl, I would look at it as a severely underachieving. I would. Pittsburgh's screwed if Aaron Rodgers is making decisions or influencing any damn thing in the organization. He's high most of the time. Doesn't ayahuasca get you high?
Yeah, but most of the time?
He's going on 12 and 14-day retreats.
Yeah, not during the season.
You don't know what he's doing during the season. He didn't even have the decency to show up to OTAs last spring because he was too busy getting in the ayahuasca cave. That damn hippie.
Then you have this from Aaron Rodgers talking about Mike Tomlin and how close he was to stepping away after Tomlin announced his departure from the Steelers.
Yeah, I love Mike T. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in last year and love my experience with him. And, I thought when he said he was stepping away, that was an emotional moment just because we all love him so much and care about him. And, I thought that that was probably it for me in Pittsburgh. But when the decision was made to hire Mike, I started opening my mind back up to coming back.
When I asked the Steelers to hire Mike, I thought about coming back. That's basically what he just said. This
he
stinks.
did say something very interesting there. Notice if you can catch it. Can we play that one more time? Because the quote, the money quote that everybody's listening to today, and that's the headline, is him saying, "This is my last year. This is it." Notice some of the language that Rodgers decided to use in this quote earlier in that press conference. Let's hear it one more time.
Yeah, I love Mike T. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in last year and love my experience with him. And, I thought when he said he was stepping away, that was an emotional moment just because we all love him so much and care about him. And, I thought that that was probably it for me in Pittsburgh. But when the decision was...
Notice those two words at the end, in Pittsburgh. That was it for me in Pittsburgh. As if to say, well, if Mike Tomlin wasn't there, it doesn't mean he would have retired. It means he'd be playing football somewhere else probably.
You know what? Can I be honest with you? This is I'm telling you in advance.
Linnell, you never have to ask me whether or not you could be honest with me.
This is going to
on this sports talk show that is yes. That's always
you're going to be irritated, but just thinking about pseudo Aaron Rodgers destinations, like if he was available and like who he'd be an upgrade for. He'd be an upgrade for the Panthers. he'd be an upgrade over Bryce Young. There's a team out there that I would think that's a team that makes sense to sign Aaron and start Aaron.
That makes no sense at all.
Why not?
You are already you're trying. If
He's
you
taller.
You have to pay. If you pay Aaron Rodgers, that means you can't pay for others.
You'd save money on stilts, so you have the ability to go spend on other places.
Wow, that's incredible.
He'd be way better than Bryce Young, and he'd throw for 3,000 yards.
Wildly reckless take there. 310-840-4910 and a low blow. Let's go to Mr. Realistic, who wants in on Aaron Rodgers. Mr.
Is that
Realistic,
really
any gift
someone's
ideas
name?
For,
Yes.
it's Mr.
As
Realistic.
far as
What are your gifts ideas for Rodgers?
What's realistic about you?
that I hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and what I get is in between, so I'm always happy. But
okay.
As far as Aaron Rodgers,
Mr. Realistic's coming for all of Mr. Positive stuff.
yeah, like I said before, Mr. Positive needs a beer, Mr. Negative needs a woman, and I need both, as well as plastic surgery, a brain transplant, a woman with bad eyesight, low self-esteem, or bad taste in men.
Are you calling yourself ugly? Are you saying that you're ugly?
I think
Well, let me put it this way. My sister says I should only go out at night because I look better in the dark.
Yeah, there you go. What are your thoughts on
And
Rodgers?
as far as Aaron Rodgers, no thanks. I'd rather have the runs. But I do have a good idea for a gift for him. Mushrooms and a bag of nuts. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I see when you come up to the plate with a call like that, you can go by Mr. Realistic. You can have a nickname.
He
that
was
incredible.
ready. He had jokes ready to go, firing on all cylinders even. Getting to, what do you think the biggest takeaway from Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals was tonight? OKC evening up the series, because for me, personally, Linnell, I thought this was OKC in survival mode. You can't lose the first two games at home when you'd lost 3 out of 4 in the regular season to San Antonio, when you're going now on the road in the series. You would be required to win 4 of the next 5, with 3 of the next 4 being away from your home court. You absolutely positively had to win. You lose Jalen Williams in the game, and you handle adversity better than San Antonio did, losing Dylan Harper, already being without De'Aaron Fox. And OKC did not relent its lead. OKC got great bench efforts from Jared McCain, who came in there and hit 3 threes. It's almost like a few years ago, we thought this might be a Rookie of the Year frontrunner with Philadelphia until he got injured. Great ad at the deadline for Oklahoma City. That's the takeaway for me. They absolutely had to win this game, and they handled adversity better than San Antonio running that zone and turning it over at will, with both teams losing a key piece.
They handled it better simply because they were more equipped to deal with it. This is a team that's playing 10 to 12 guys per night, an injury to one dude, despite it being, their second leading scorer during the regular season, their secondary ball handler. They were equipped to deal with it because of guys like A.J. Mitchell and Alex Caruso and Cason Wallace, the litany of guys that bring off the bench. My biggest takeaway in this one is, if you're the San Antonio Spurs, you do whatever you got to do. You call a seance. You do whatever you got. They need to be healthy to win this series, and they need Dylan Harper back. The Fox thing, I think they can manage life without him. Any scenario that causes you to play Jordan McLaughlin, I am not in favor of it.
So what if it's Fox back but not Harper?
I think they're fine. If it's Fox back and not Harper,
one of the two back.
I think they need one of the two back. You can't be down your 2 out of your top 3 guards, especially with this group. They need another guy outside of Castle that can legitimately, break the defense down off the bounce and create for others. I thought, despite the turnovers, I still thought Castle was awesome tonight. Both ends of the floor, guarding Shea.
9 turnovers.
Yeah, and I still thought he played his ass off tonight.
Oh, he had a couple dunks.
It's not about the dunks. It's him getting downhill and laying dudes up. It's the defense that he's playing. Stephon Castle is the engine of that group, in terms of, their motor and play style. They take after him and Wemby's character. He is a junkyard dog, menace, diving on the floor for loose balls, plays balls to the wall, gives you everything he's got. I can live with his turnovers because of what else he's giving me. I can't live with James Harden's turnovers because he's giving me doo-doo.
There is a piece of audio we hadn't gotten to yet in today's show. Oliver, let me know if we have this Clyde Drexler piece, because I wanted your reaction while we're talking about the NBA, and I want to give a shout-out to our friends, You Better You Bet. Make sure you listen to those guys in the morning. Nick Costa, does a great job and has had some big interviews, including Omar Khan a few weeks ago. He had Clyde Drexler talking about the new Blazers owner, Tom Dundon. And you might remember when he first took over the team, you had the stuff where, he's not paying for late checkout, and they're not paying the way they need to for the G League guys aren't traveling with the team in the postseason, and now they're letting go of some staff there, turning things over, new ownership. Well, Clyde Drexler had some thoughts on the matter, and on You Better You Bet, this is what he had to say.
It's $1 billion industry. What you can't do, and I don't know, I've talked to Tom once, seemed like a nice guy, so I don't really know him, but I know one thing, when you're running $1 billion industry, you can't act like you don't have any money. I mean, he bought the team for what, $4 billion, 4.4 or something, whatever those numbers are. I think the NBA has set a standard, every franchise.
Yeah, that was Clyde Drexler from You Better You Bet. Linnell, I understand it's easy to rip a guy when he's doing things unconventionally. All right, well, if he's not paying for late checkout, if he's not paying for this on the training table, if he's not paying for these guys to travel, the first inclination you have is, well, this guy's cheap. But what if Tom Dundon's answer to this, by the way, it is funny to call a guy cheap when he just paid more than $4 billion to buy an NBA franchise and owns other franchises. What if his approach is, if it doesn't help my basketball team win more games on the floor, I'm not paying for it. Like, other teams fly their G League guys out there. If they're not playing, why am I paying for them to be there? They're not helping my basketball team right now. They're not. And I'm not saying this as somebody who's guessing. I ripped this guy when I was doing local talk because he did the same thing when he took over the Carolina Hurricanes. He did things that were incredibly unpopular. And people ripped him for being cheap. And then the guy made the playoffs every year. And the Hurricanes are one of the best teams in the sport. And I would just advise the Portland fans, because I know we're out there in Portland. Judge his decisions based on what impacts play on the court. And ignore that other stuff. Because if you're winning, do you really care about that other stuff? Is ultimately the question, Linnell. I don't know.
Well, look, they better start winning. All that is great, but you got to win. I agree with you wholeheartedly. All of that becomes secondary if you're winning games, if you're selling out the Moda Center night in and night out. Like that's what matters for Portland ultimately here.
And the problem that he's going to run into is it's a lot easier to win in hockey, building a roster and being gritty and all that, than it is in basketball. And he might have learned, paying attention to who he lost to in the first round. I don't have one of those guys. I don't have a Wemby. And it's a lot more difficult to acquire guys like that in basketball than it is in hockey. And the impact of one player is so much more meaningful in that sport than what you get in the other. So I don't know how much of it is translatable, but I would say in this instance, as somebody who was wrong and admits he was wrong and overreacting to these ideas of, he's cheap, because he was called that in hockey circles, he won. And we'll see if he does in Portland. Are you ready for the most entertaining guest in sports talk? B-Dot is our guy. And he also has a story regarding Kevin Hart and Chris Paul that we'll bring to you when we play Grammar School as well. Dot joins us next on Westwood One Sports Night.
The Rams, led by NFL MVP Matthew Stafford, headline the league with 7 primetime games. Catch them all on the Westwood One Sports app. The schedule is out, and we're breaking down what it means for your team. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Yes, sir. That is Linnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. We're welcoming now the most entertaining guest in sports talk. B-Dot is joining us here. And since our show is being broadcast, it's been in over 300 markets since its launch, but we're in the city of Angels now, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Last week in LA was the Kevin Hart roast. I'm reminded of perhaps the craziest flex of many that you have, which it's saying something because your voice was once featured on a Beyonce track. You may or may not have helped elevate Jeezy and Rick Ross's music in the state of North Carolina. I've seen you ignore calls from Nick Cannon before. One time, though.
I was on your show. I couldn't answer the phone in the middle of your show.
It's true. One time, without a caption, though, you just sent me a picture. It was a random Friday or Saturday night. It was late. You sent me a picture, and it was of Chris Paul, you, and Kevin Hart wrestling or like roughhousing in a room. It was just you three in a room. And I have no other context, so I'm just going to ask the question, why were you, Chris Paul, and Kevin Hart in a room together?
What? All stories I can't share about why three married men were in a room and all you could see was us three married men. You can't share all your stories. But that was actually the premiere of the LOL network. I was out there to premiere with him, and I was actually Chris Paul's +1. I was out there in LA. That's when my wife was living in LA. CP and I, that's the homie. So I was out there just having a good time with him. He was like, yo, you got a suit? I was like, nope, but it's a Zara right around the corner. So I went and grabbed a suit and threw on a T-shirt and jumped out and rode with him out there. And it was super dope, man. Everybody was there. Like every picture, I'm going to send you a bunch of pictures from that night, Josh, because every picture I'm doing this. Mouth wide open, pause, eyes wide open. You can see the white around my pupils because everybody's there, like Snoop's there and Drea and Kevin Hart. And at this particular moment, I'm just there with Chris. So wherever Chris was at, I was able to go. So Kev was like, yo, Chris, come with me real quick. And there's this guy that goes to all the LA Clippers games and LA Lakers games. I told you who he was, Josh, and you told me his name, but I don't remember. He dresses very, very strange. He wears the cowboy hats.
Clipper Darrell? Are we talking about Clipper Darrell, the fan?
No, not Clipper Darrell. He's an old white guy. He looks like Skeletor. And he just like, he's super rich.
You're talking about the super fan for the NBA that always wears like the rattlesnake stuff. Well, what's his name? It's going to bother me.
We were at
in a second.
We were at his house. We were at one of his properties in LA, and that's where they were doing the LOL network premiere. And
Jimmy Goldstein.
Him. So we were at his crib, and we're in some. Kevin snatches us off and takes us to some.
D-Day, this is an encouragement for people to watch the show in addition to listening. See if you can find a picture of Jimmy Goldstein to put up on YouTube and on X. So, because when you see the guy, you'll know exactly who we're talking about. If you're a basketball fan, because I see Linnell's face, you have no idea who Jimmy Goldstein is by name right now.
As soon as you see it, you're going to be like, you were at that guy's house? And I'm going to say, no, I was at one of his properties. Like, dude is so rich. But we just, that guy, him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the old, okay, yeah. You just yeah, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's you're at one of his properties with Kevin Hart and Chris Paul.
Yeah, and Kevin he wants to talk to Chris in private, but I just happen to be with Chris, so I get the luxury of being in there and sneaking that picture that nobody in the world knew about until this exact moment. So thanks for sharing that I'm I'm breaking bro code and snapping pictures and sending them to my white friend back in North Carolina. Thanks, Josh.
Good job, Josh.
Yeah. This is what the Illuminati looks like, you guys. This is what it is.
Well, why does my bank account look like a Lesanami? Where's the Lumi in that?
There is a reason, though, we brought Dot here. And Linnell, I need your help in it because grammar school has been a struggle bus. It's, when we're around athletes, you got to be hip to some of the urban vernacular is a good way to put it. It's not racial, by the way. Some say it's Afrocentric. No. There's so many white boys that understand the urbanotrics, so to speak, or urbanonomics, or however we're going to put it. that B-Dot's throwing down. So it's not a racial thing. I'm just trying to understand so that way we build our vocabulary here. This is an educational program. So
it is.
What Dot has is 3 terms or expressions of the urban persuasion that he's going to throw my way. And Linnell, I get one lifeline, and you are my lifeline to try to help me. But you often feel that these terms that he throws at me are too easy, only to be disappointed that I don't know them still.
I haven't been a part of grammar school, it feels like, in forever. The last few times I did get the chance to participate in grammar school, I was almost thinking about terminating it. I was almost. You have been so bad, at least when I've been around. So the struggle bus seems like it's continued once I've left. So it's not me. I don't feel bad about it.
Well, be clear, Linnell. I only come on the show when you're here. So there hasn't been maybe but 1 or 2 episodes of grammar school that you haven't been present at. So whatever you're thinking of, your most recent memories of it, that's pretty much where we are.
Yeah. Okay. So I was very frustrated and irritated with you. I had to jog my memory real quick. I forgot. I have been very frustrated and irritated with you and how you participated and performed. I'm here for you, though, because I have to be.
Let's get it started. What is the first term or expression of the urban persuasion to kick off grammar school? I need to get 2 out of 3 correct.
I'm putting you down. D-I-N-E. I'm putting you down. What does that mean, Josh?
D-I-N-E?
Correct. D-I-N-E. Putting you down.
Because for a second, you sounded like McAfee for a bit, where he does the obnoxious things like, get on down to Miami.
That was a horrible Don. Get on Don. That was. But while you're trying to, the reason that I've been so critical of Josh in grammar school recently is because Dot was repeating words for him, and he's still. So I don't want the LA audience to think, oh, he's just a jerk. It's my patience running thin with it because it's the same words over and over that he was getting wrong. You're going to start off 0 for 1, and I hope you don't use me right off the rip.
Dine. So say it one more time.
Dine. Come on.
No,
I am putting you down.
Yeah.
I'm
putting you down.
Yes.
I'm going to assume that means that you are feeding somebody. You're putting them down. Here's some food. I'm putting you down. It's giving, like serving someone a meal.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Absolutely incorrect.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. Putting you down means I'm just hipping you to game. I'm putting you down. I'm putting you down. But that's how they say down in Houston. So it's like I'm putting you down. Like I'm putting you on. I'm putting you down. Mona Leo has a song out right now that's called Putting You Down. And if you're in the locker room with someone, say you're out there, in Seattle or something, or you're talking to Flau'jae and she says, listen, Josh, I want to put you down. Like she's putting you down.
Listen up. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Putting you down.
That's
so stupid. Okay. What's the next one?
If someone has a whole lot of motion, what do they have, Josh?
I just want to acknowledge before Josh goes to, I have been around where motion, this may have been very early on. This feels like one of our first 2 episodes of having the most entertaining guests in sports talk on. Motion, Josh, I'm just going to, do not come to me for this one. I have the utmost confidence in you. Motion.
If someone has a whole lot of motion, Josh, what does that mean?
Come on, Josh.
That's B-Dot. In case you didn't know, most entertaining guest in sports talk. Linnell Willingham, Josh Graham with you. Westwood One Sports Night. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast, to the YouTube channel.
Just want to let the audience know when he starts doing that, Linnell, that's all stalling because
I know. It feels like tribal council right now. I'm like waiting for Jeff Probst to tell me who's going home tonight. Like this is awful, dog.
Westwood One.
Westwood
One Sports Night on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and on YouTube. Those numbers, they be cousin. Business is a booming. I need to go to you.
Did you say they be cousin? What are you doing? What?
That is a direct quote from.
He's glitching, bro.
That's a direct quote from Inglorious Bastards. Cousin, business is a booming.
He's glitching. He's glitching.
You said they be cousin.
I heard you. What do you mean?
I didn't say
right
baby.
here, bro.
I didn't say baby.
You said no, you said they be cousin.
No. Linnell, I'm going to use you as a lifeline. I need you. I need you to stay alive.
What was the word again?
If someone has a whole lot of motion, what does that mean?
Gosh, you shouldn't use me on this word. Like, this is a bad use of your lifeline. Hey,
You're being a bad teammate, is what I think.
This is a horrible use. I'm trying to help you and say, just think a little harder. You haven't even thought. You haven't even tried. Motion.
I think I know what motion is, but I just don't. I need to keep myself alive for the third one, Linnell. That's the point. This is a game. I need your help.
Rajay Johnson's having motion. Major motion. Probably more motion than we've ever seen.
You think so? You think Flau'jae's got more motion right now than Caitlin Clark?
She's a rapper too.
Good, ain't nobody checking for the raps like that. You think?
Well,
talent is the answer.
When I say motion, she got a lot going on too.
She definitely got motion. No doubt. She definitely got motion. But like
maybe more. Okay, that was great. Okay,
that was crazy. That was wild. That was a bit of that was Michael Jordan in Space Jam reach a little bit. Yo, tighten up. Okay.
So talent is the answer? That's what motion means?
Talent is the answer.
Everybody, all three of them, including D-Day off stage, just put their hands in their face.
Talent is the answer.
Yo,
I mean, in a way.
I don't even think I can be upset with that rebuttal because it's like, okay, I see where you tried to go.
They're all very talented people.
Is talent your final answer?
Linnell,
I'm your lifeline.
Yes.
You really want to use me right now?
I am using you.
Like a hot tag. It's like, hey, come on, you just got body slammed. Motion. A litany of things, a litany of successful things going on at one time is the best way that I can put it. Like,
all right, then I'll go with that.
Like, we're having motion, dude. Like, we got motion. You have motion, Josh Graham. Little do you know, you are having motion, brother. I promise you are.
Thank you.
Is that your final? Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. That is correct. Motion is just you got things going on, Josh. Like you moving to LA, you being listened to in LA right now. That is major motion. Like you got motion, bro.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got through that. Now we have one more to go. I don't have a lifeline.
You with this last word because you could have got motion. I really do believe you could have.
I wasn't going to.
Absolutely no chance he gets this. What are G stars?
This is just not having no taste.
What are G stars, bro?
G stars.
This is like asking a farmer. It's like asking a farmer to go work on the damn buckle on the damn conveyor belt. Like,
I'm going to say this is a brand of clothes. G stars. Yeah.
I'm going to give you the point. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The look on your face is the same look everyone had when Wemby hit the shot in game 1. They're like, I didn't know he could do that.
No, facts.
What?
We didn't. Wow.
Right.
Satisfactory grade.
Right.
These stars are jeans. Josh Graham, they are jeans.
Wow.
Congratulations. I'm impressed. That was impressive.
I wish you had confetti to throw in the air. I mean, that's
right.
Honestly. It feels like you just hit a buzzer beater. Like, that was incredible. That was incredible.
That was Wemby. That was 41-24 in the Western Conference Finals. Good job.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Thank you. By the way, Dot, what did you think of Drake's new albums? Did you have any thoughts on that?
And see, we haven't done a whole lot of music together, and this is gonna. Did you?
No, don't give him any. Don't influence the jury at all.
I don't need to because I know Dot. He here with me. I know he is.
I listened to Iceman. I didn't listen to the R&B joint or the boom 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 controller joints. The Iceman joint had me locked for like 4 tracks, and then after that it was like, I don't have to listen to it again. So it's like maybe a couple tracks that I liked, but overall album, I'm not saying it's a classic album or anything like that. I enjoyed hearing Drake again, but it wasn't a classic album.
Okay.
No, I definitely. We need. Listen. We need Drake. We need Drake in hip hop. He has to continue dropping albums. So
leave it there.
Like that is necessary. And the wordplay, it was Drake. Like it was.
He was it was so introspective. It felt like him just. He was,
it was not introspective. It was Drake. It was the same Drake.
No, he was telling you about like what was going on. Like he addressed everything I wanted him to address. Kendrick,
I saw
everybody stop talking.
I do not like Kendrick Lamar. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Everybody stop talking. D-Day just covered his face with his hat. And I just want to know what D-Day was thinking in that moment. If he could tell us,
was he disappointed in me? Is he disappointed?
Nope. He just wants us to have this moment. That's what he wants.
I got a question.
Hopefully he was gonna say, you know what, I felt similar about the Iceman album. It was so
I saw a post that said Drake usually all of his albums are usually about him crying over women that have hurt him, and this album was about the men that have hurt him, and I felt that.
Wow, crying about the men that have hurt him. Sorry that he has reached a point. He has reached a point in his life where he sat back and went, you know what? Maybe I need to tighten up and act a little different. I'm about to be 40. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm battling with aging. Like
I'm battling with age, bro.
No, listen.
That talk, bro. Like
the first 4 tracks I was locked in, Linnell, no cap, and then it just started to fizzle on me. Like, damn, like the Cleveland Cavaliers in the fourth quarter.
Oh, no.
Dot, Linnell.
10 seconds.
Nope. We got to call this a day.
Ran to Atlanta, little birdie.
He's so mad.
Make them pay.
Dot, we love you. Usually this is the time where D-Day tells us what's happening in Put It to Bed. Instead, Dot is going to tell us what to do, essentially.
Damn right. All you do is you get real close to whatever listening device you're using. And you close your mouth and you shut up and keep listening.
Aaron Rodgers says this season is his last.
Yes, this is it. Yeah.
Will Rodgers go out like John Elway and Peyton Manning did with a Lombardi trophy in his hands? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Linnell Willingham.
Linnell, fun stuff tonight. San Antonio, unable to take a 2-zip lead in the Western Conference Finals. OKC not to get up. Yes, it seems we're destined for 6-7 games in that series. 6-7.
6-7.
For those who are watching
Cut it out, Josh.
YouTube, on X, you can find us at Nell_BTP or at Josh Graham Show. You can find our YouTube channel at Josh Graham Show Westwood One Sports Night. Pardon. It's late. You know, we're not doing afters tonight. Next week, we will. Hopefully, you'll pay off your bet sometime soon, whether it's on the afters or in person when you come visit me in North Carolina. It'd be a good time. Like, what most interests you about visiting North Carolina? Just so I know.
Do you really want me to tell you?
Yeah, so I know like what to plan, like what types of things you're interested in. I would love to know what your interests are before we put this show to bed.
My primary reason for wanting to go to North Carolina is because there's a Dorito there that I'm dying to try.
What kind of Dorito?
Like brown sugar cinnamon.
What? Is this a real answer or is this a bit?
What do you think, pal? It's a real answer. You haven't heard of the Dorito Pop-Tart collab?
No. And this is
so I was gonna bring that up instead of the Wemby French fry bit. I mean, Josh, you were just I'm upset that you won grammar school tonight, honestly. Can I be real? I am genuinely upset that you won grammar school. So now I'm trying to confuse you on the air, and I've done so because your jaw is dropped. Close your mouth.
Okay. Is there a real answer?
He said okay. He's so genuinely confused.
I'm very.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that, so I don't get canceled or called. What were they calling me earlier?
I don't know what they call you. I don't pay attention. But what's the? What is
Josh,
the?
please use the brain just a little bit.
Is he saying he's interested in a woman that's in North Carolina? Is that it?
Plural.
Women. Okay. I thought the number one reason was you wanted to hang out with me. My feelings are hurt a little bit.
Well, you're secondary, but definitely high on the list.
I didn't know if there were things you wanted to do for fun, like for
No,
D-Day.
there are things. We're going to do things. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I promise you. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Remember I told you about. Remember I introduced. This was a while ago. I think it was like February.
I understand that, but I mean,
I introduced
I
you guys to Club Linnell. Remember I introduced y'all to Club Linnell?
It's opening up a new location.
Let's just say Club Linnell. It's got a brand new locale, baby.
It's unbelievable. I'm so sincere, and I'm like, hey, I didn't know if you wanted to ride down to campuses or if you wanted to spend time in Charlotte. I didn't know if you wanted to visit Duke or Carolina. Wait, I didn't know what was interesting you. I was trying to put together a nice day. What kind of food you wanted to eat?
I'm all worried about what's going to happen tonight, Josh.
Sincere. I just sorry for even trying.
A brown sugar cinnamon Dorito. What I'm gonna chill on that because that is getting a lot real close for comfort. And look, some people may use like roast beef.
Hey, you got me. I Googled it.
Drake Toll, this is the best lead-in you'll ever get. Now let's close things out by putting this show to bed.
I have a feeling Drake Toll's never had a brown sugar cinnamon Dorito. just
I haven't either.
Just a hunch.
I think I might have once. I need to clarify what that actually means before I commit to that. I was going to talk about a hip-hop sensation that's in a little bit of legal trouble. In Romania. No, not everything is about Drake and Kendrick. There are other hip-hoppers and rappers. Our boy Wiz Khalifa.
Shut up, Black Youngster.
Is in some big issues in Romania. They're on the lookout for him because he dodged a 9-month prison stint in Romania that they tried to slap him with because he was smoking the devil's lettuce on stage, which in Romania you are not allowed to do. I don't know why they would book Wiz Khalifa, who's very famous for doing he's famous for two things: rapping and smoking weed.
Yeah.
I don't know why they thought he was not going to do that.
It's like the modern day Snoop Dogg.
Can I tell you why that's particularly interesting? So my senior year of high school, Wiz Khalifa went to East Carolina University, my alma mater, and he got busted because during his show, police decided to go on his bus and find. And because of that, my entire 4 years while I was in school there, rappers refused to go to ECU in solidarity with Wiz.
You still should, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Storming the man's bus.
You knew what was on that bus.
Exactly. You knew it was on the bus. So anyway, that's Wiz Khalifa. It's not his first run-in with the law, unfortunately.
You got to watch out for those European countries, man. They don't play. Different world out there.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Wiz. I hate when these countries try to do this bit and act like when they what they did. The fact that we had to release a serial killer just to get Brittany Griner back was ridiculous.
Had to get her back, man. Double machine.
They not got weed in Russia?
Linnell,
don't they call it
have you ever been out of the country, Linnell?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
Well, where in the world would you most like to go if you could have a ticket to go somewhere outside of the United States?
I would want to go to not Romania. I would not want to go anywhere that is not pot friendly. I'm just saying. That's
good to know. Amsterdam, it is.
You want to go south?
I want to go to the
islands.
UK. I'm going to go to the UK so I could be with my DJ. I get go on replay and I want to see what she say.
You don't eat beans for breakfast.
Whatever she say, and I think wonder what B say and what we say and what he say, me say, D say. I like cheesesteaks. It's my UK rapper accent. That was my Central C impression. Don't really know what is. Trying to figure out what's biz. Westwood One Sports Night and it is over. What is this? Drake told us next.
That is true. Snap, snap. This has been Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.